Welcome to Weiyang Palace. The winter this year is unusually cruel, but not as cruel as the gossip whispering through the corridors. Outside, the maids are already counting down the days our heroine has left to live. The noble consort's illness has worsened recently. I'm afraid she won't survive through the winter, they whisper. Just months ago, she was the crown jewel of the inner court, basking in the emperor's ultimate favor. But in this palace, a sick woman is a useless woman. Now, the emperor doesn't even want to look in her direction. Suddenly, two maids look up with startled expressions, their eyes wide with surprise. One of them exclaims, questioning why the other is present. Inside a lavish chamber, Xiao Hualong lies weakly in her ornate bed, her delicate form racked by a persistent cough. Her illness is evident in every labored breath. The soft clatter of beaded curtains announces an arrival. The camera focuses on Xiao Hualong's intricate hairstyle, hinting at her status and the ornate world she inhabits. A maid, identified as Nan Chu, gently approaches Xiao Hualong, who looks up with a pained expression. Nan Chu reminds her that it is time to take her medicine, offering a small bowl. Xiao Hualong's delicate hand reaches out, brushing against the shimmering, beaded curtain adorned with butterfly and jewel motifs, a momentary pause in her suffering. Partially obscured by the golden curtain, Xiao Hualong's face reveals her deteriorating condition, a tear tracing her cheek, a faint spot of blood on her lip. She weakly requests Nan Chu to bring her a mirror. Xiao Hualong looks distraught as Nan Chu, holding a fan, informs her that the emperor is too busy to visit today, a painful truth that further deepens her sorrow. With a heavy heart, Xiao Hualong reflects on her declining health, noting how the emperor's visits have become increasingly rare ever since she fell ill. A stern voice from behind a decorative screen warns the Shu consort that she cannot enter, as the noble consort, Xiao Hualong, is gravely ill and cannot receive visitors. Despite the warning, the antagonistic consort elegantly steps through the doorway into the snowy courtyard, her elaborate robes flowing behind her with a soft clatter, a clear disregard for protocol. A close-up reveals the antagonistic consort's striking features, light purplish-pink hair adorned with a golden crown, and a composed, almost smug expression that hints at her true intentions. The antagonistic consort's opulent gown sweeps across the polished floor with a subtle clatter, her movements graceful yet assertive as she enters Xiao Hualong's private chambers. With a chilling smirk, the antagonistic consort mockingly asks if her sister Xiao Hualong is still alive, her tone dripping with malicious anticipation. Despite her obvious pain and a tear on her cheek, Xiao Hualong bravely retorts to the antagonistic consort, stating that she is sorry to disappoint her, but she is still alive and well. Xiao Hualong, though visibly weakened, challenges the antagonistic consort, questioning why she has dropped her usual facade of kindness and is now speaking so harshly, unable to maintain her act. The antagonistic consort violently pushes aside a maid who attempts to intervene, the sharp clatter of her movements highlighting her aggressive demeanor. With a cruel gaze, the antagonistic consort taunts Xiao Hualong, asserting that her family has abandoned her and that she would be better off dead. She brazenly declares that the position of noble consort and soon empress will be hers. Xiao Hualong recoils in shock, clutching her cheek in disbelief as she cries out, utterly stunned that the antagonistic consort dared to strike her. A close-up reveals Xiao Hualong's eyes, wide with pain and betrayal, glistening with unshed tears as the harsh reality of her situation sinks in. Hunched over, Xiao Hualong struggles for breath, her chest heaving with desperate pants, her fragile body clearly overwhelmed by the physical and emotional assault. Despite her weakened state, Xiao Hualong musters a defiant glare at the antagonistic consort, warning her that such disrespectful behavior could incur the emperor's severe punishment. The antagonistic consort responds with a chilling, knowing smile, her lips curving into a smirk as she mockingly repeats, "The emperor?" With a sinister glint in her eyes, the antagonistic consort confronts Xiao Hualong, revealing that after 7 years, she still hasn't realized the emperor's true feelings. He has never truly favored her. Leaning in close, the antagonistic consort's words cut deep, accusing Xiao Hualong of bullying concubines and colluding with officials. She coldly declares Xiao Hualong's suffering as karma, suggesting the emperor wishes she would turn to ashes. As the antagonistic consort cruelly grasps Xiao Hualong's chin, forcing her to meet her gaze, she reveals the shocking truth. Xiao Hualong's illness is no accident, and the antidote sent by the emperor is the very cause. Xiao Hualong's face is shrouded in shadow, her lips bloodied, as she struggles to comprehend the emperor's betrayal. She recalls their shared past, their youthful feelings, and his promise of affection, now shattered by this cruel revelation. The scene fades with the persistent sound of Xiao Hualong's weakening cough, a tragic echo of her pain and the devastating betrayal she has just endured. The bitter truth pierces Xiao Hualong's mind, a cruel voice echoing that without the power of her family, the emperor would never have married her. Her eyes widen in a dawning horror, realizing the person she loved was the one who pushed her to the brink. Blood stains Xiao Hualong's lips and robes as tears stream down her face, a painful memory surfacing of Hualong's solemn vow that she, Xiao Hualong, would be the most honored empress of Dezhou. She remembers the promise. If he broke that sacred vow, karmic retribution would surely follow. In her past, Xiao Hualong was the eldest daughter of the prime minister, living a life of unparalleled luxury and power. She recalls a time when, venturing out, she encountered Hu Qing, a renowned scholar who had just won a poetry competition, captivating her with his verses about flowers under the moon. Xiao Hualong admired the scholar, deliberately concealing her identity to foster a genuine connection with him, drawn in by his charm and talent. Later, she discovered Hu Qing was a prince, but as the son of a maid, the seventh prince was largely ignored within the palace. Her own status, however, was destined for the most powerful man in the world. Hu Qing was different. He saw beyond her status, and it was this genuine admiration, devoid of ulterior motives, that made Xiao Hualong fall for him. In a tender moment, a younger Xiao Hualong and Hu Qing stand amidst lush greenery, a silent exchange passing between them, hinting at the burgeoning affection. Hualong, now identified, made a passionate vow that if Xiao Hualong married him, he would fight for the throne he never desired, simply to be worthy of her, promising she would be his only empress in this life and the next. Xiao Hualong, holding a delicate fan, accepts his proposal, but not without a stern warning for Hualong to never go back on his word. In a flashback to her efforts, Xiao Hualong stands before a chest overflowing with gold, a symbol of the immense resources and influence she wielded, eliminating rivals without hesitation to pave Hualong's path. A woman with lavender hair, the antagonistic consort, is seen being helped onto a grand throne, surrounded by attendants, already asserting her regal presence. The antagonistic consort is depicted in full imperial regalia, her lavender hair crowned, radiating an aura of absolute power and ambition, foreshadowing her rise. All of Xiao Hualong's sacrifices and efforts were meticulously calculated solely to ensure Hualong could rise to the very pinnacle and claim the title of emperor. A figure, likely Hualong, now adorned in magnificent black and gold imperial robes, ascends a grand staircase, having achieved the ultimate power. But after entering the palace, Xiao Hualong unexpectedly fell gravely ill, her weakening cough echoing through the lavish chambers. Hualong, her supposed beloved, declared that Dezhou could not have a sickly empress, temporarily titling her as a mere noble consort. He promised that upon her recovery, he would make her the true empress of Dezhou. Yet, this illness, a dark shadow, would tragically persist for 7 long years, plunging her into an era of darkness. A stern official expresses disdain, questioning her inability to become empress, declaring the Wan family has no use for such a worthless daughter. Xiao Hualong was utterly abandoned. Tears well in Xiao Hualong's eyes as Hualong, seen from behind, walks away, coldly stating that while he granted her the title of noble consort, she should not expect his visits. A broken, bare branch, adorned with a single, discarded ornament, lies in the snow, a stark visual metaphor for how Xiao Hualong was utterly despised. Xiao Hualong gazes at her reflection in a mirror, her frail appearance prompting a heartbreaking question. At only 25, has her prolonged illness truly transformed her into such an ugly sight? Her long, light hair frames her face, reflecting the pale, delicate beauty that has been ravaged by her mysterious ailment. Touching her face in the mirror, Xiao Hualong reflects on 20 years of supposed affection, a profound realization dawning that she thought it was real, but it was just. Her thought hangs in the air, completing the bitter revelation. Was she merely a pawn, to be discarded at any given moment? Wrapped in a heavy red cloak, Xiao Hualong struggles through the snow-covered palace grounds, supported by a concerned female attendant who urges Her Highness to slow down. Xiao Hualong continues to cough weakly as the scene shifts to a wooden cartwheel, its heavy thud on the snowy ground, signifying her tragic departure. Her tragic departure, a fate sealed by betrayal. Xiao Hualong, frail and fading, gazes downward, her eyes reflecting a profound sorrow, adorned in the remnants of her former glory. Amidst the falling snow, Xiao Hualong stands, her gaze fixed on an approaching carriage as she questions who occupies it, the faint ringing of a bell echoing in the cold air. A female attendant, with a concerned expression, informs Xiao Hualong that the carriage carries Miss Lu from Jinyang Marquis Manor, adding that she is rumored to soon become the empress. Xiao Hualong reacts with a choked gasp, her frail body racked by a series of weak coughs as the heavy news settles upon her in the swirling snow. Her inner turmoil manifests as a bitter thought, lamenting that anyone else could ascend to the position of empress, but never her, highlighting her profound sense of injustice. Another painful cough escapes Xiao Hualong as she condemns Hu Qing for their broken promises and ingratitude, vowing that retribution will inevitably find them. The scene transitions to an exterior view of the majestic Junhuang Palace, its ornate roof dusted with snow under the dark, wintry sky, setting a somber tone. Inside, the emperor/royal figure sits regally, his piercing purple eyes focused as he meticulously writes with a brush, surrounded by the opulent grandeur of the palace. A male attendant respectfully inquires of the emperor/royal figure regarding the designated residence for Miss Liu within the palace, awaiting his imperial decree. The emperor/royal figure dismissively states wherever, while the male attendant also reports that the noble consort has refused her medicine for several days, a detail met with indifference. The emperor/royal figure, with a subtle smirk, cynically remarks that the noble consort is merely feigning illness to manipulate him into visiting her. Suddenly, a maid bursts through the heavy blue curtains, her voice filled with urgency as she addresses the emperor/royal figure, signaling a dire interruption. The maid, now kneeling before the emperor/royal figure, identifies herself as a servant of the noble consort, her presence conveying a desperate plea. The male attendant attempts to restrain the distraught maid, scolding her for her outburst in the emperor/royal figure's presence, fearing the repercussions of her emotional state. The emperor/royal figure, caught off guard by the commotion, looks down with a surprised expression, uttering a single word of inquiry. Tears streaming down her face, the maid delivers the devastating news: the noble consort has tragically taken her own life. The emperor/royal figure's eyes, wide with a mixture of shock and disbelief, reflect the sudden, horrifying impact of the maid's words. In a sudden burst of anger and anguish, the emperor/royal figure slams his hand down, the impact echoing through the silent room as a book on the table rattles. Standing abruptly, the emperor/royal figure's voice booms with fury and disbelief, questioning how the noble consort could have dared to commit such an act. His agitated expression reveals a desperate need for answers as he demands to know if the noble consort left any final words for him before her tragic end. The focus remains on the intricate details of the emperor/royal figure's opulent attire, underscoring the gravity of the moment and his silent, seething rage. In a haunting flashback, Xiao Hualong, in her ethereal reborn form, declares that if the emperor desires her death, she will fulfill his wish one last time, her voice filled with poignant resignation. A lonely bell rings in the dark, snowy night, signaling a passage of time or the final, mournful chime of a life tragically ended. The horrific aftermath is revealed: a beautiful dress stained crimson with blood, a golden hairpin lying amidst the tragedy, a stark image of Xiao Hualong's ultimate sacrifice. 7 days after the tragic sacrifice, hushed whispers circulate through the land. Some question if the wicked consort, the one from the palace, has finally met her retribution, confirming her horrible death. Inside a moving carriage, an older woman gravely states that a woman with evil intentions and many evil deeds will surely become a ghost after death. Another woman quickly interjects, warning against such talk. She reminds her companion that Consort Wan's interment is nearby, and today marks her first week's memorial and burial. The first woman, now visibly anxious, urges her companion to speak softly, fearing they might attract wandering spirits. A delicate hand reaches out, pulling back the curtain of the carriage, revealing a glimpse of the outside world. From beneath a concealing hood, a voice calmly commands for the carriage to stop. The hooded figure, shrouded in mystery, reiterates her desire to disembark from the carriage. Concerned voice from within the carriage warns the miss that Jinling is still far ahead. There are no villages or inns nearby, questioning where she intends to go if she gets off now. Despite the warnings, the hem of a light robe touches the ground, surrounded by fallen leaves, as the figure steps out. The hooded figure gazes up at the dark, starry night, her thoughts consumed by the fact that today marks the first week's memorial. Xiao Hualong, her distinctive eyes now visible beneath the hood, resolves to return to Consort Wan's tomb. Back at the carriage, the two older women and a man shriek in terror, clutching each other, convinced they have encountered a ghost. Under the pale, blurred moon, bare tree branches reach into the ominous night sky, setting a chilling atmosphere. A long, desolate path stretches towards a distant, imposing palace, as scattered coins or petals drift through the air. Inside a grand chamber, Xiao Hualong stands at the far end, facing a magnificent altar. Ethereal mist swirls around her as more coins and petals fall. A closer look reveals Xiao Hualong's hand gently touching her long, dark hair, sparkling subtly in the cool, blue light. Her intricately styled hair bun, adorned with delicate pins, is bathed in the mystical blue glow, surrounded by swirling wisps of energy. Xiao Hualong stands tall in her flowing white robes, her long dark hair cascading down, enveloped by the ethereal mist. An overhead view showcases a lavish red garment, possibly a ceremonial robe or shroud, intricately adorned with golden and peacock-like patterns, still surrounded by the mystical aura. A close-up reveals Xiao Hualong's serene, melancholic face, her luminous blue eyes gazing out, reflecting an otherworldly beauty. The scene shifts to the Xiao mansion, located in the quiet countryside. Inside, Xiao Hualong lies unconscious in bed, her face pale. Hualong's father sits beside her, holding her hand with a worried expression. Rowan, looking distressed, sadly declares that Xiao Hualong has no will to live and instructs them to prepare for her funeral. Tears stream down Rowan's face as she laments Xiao Hualong's tragic fate, recalling how her mother died early and her father remarried, neglecting her. She wonders what she will do if Xiao Hualong also passes away. Xiao Hualong's face remains still, her eyes closed, appearing utterly lifeless in her bed. Hualong's father's hands are clasped over his chest, a silent gesture of profound grief and helplessness. A mysterious glowing form emerges from the darkness, revealing the name Hua Long within its ethereal light. The glowing form expands, and the name Hua Long appears with a sudden, surprising intensity, hinting at a significant revelation. Against a backdrop of cosmic darkness, Xiao Hualong's ethereal form, clad in a flowing white gown with long, dark hair, gracefully floats, a spirit reborn. Her elaborate slipper, adorned with intricate patterns, dangles gracefully as her flowing gown billows around her in the cosmic void. A soft whisper escapes her lips, a name echoing into the ethereal expanse, Hualong? Her original form, with dark hair and sorrowful eyes, gazes downward, lost in a distant memory. Her ethereal white form floats above, looking down at Hualong, resplendent in his phoenix-embroidered red robes, both suspended in the cosmic tapestry. With a wistful expression, Xiao Hualong in her original form looks up, her eyes reflecting the distant starlight. Her voice, regal and clear, declares her new identity. I am the imperial consort of this dynasty. In her original form, Xiao Hualong kneels in despair, her gaze downcast, burdened by unseen sorrow. Lying in opulent robes, Xiao Hualong reflects, her thoughts lingering even after death. Even in death, I. Her original self cries out in anguish, I am so useless. I can't do anything right. Her voice trembles with desperation. Consort, I'm weak and useless. I can't fight my stepmother. Tears stream down her face as she pleads, I beg you, I am willing to give you. The reborn Xiao Hualong recounts the grim truth of her past. You were trapped in the mud and struggled until your death. With a compassionate gaze, the reborn Xiao Hualong reaches out to her past self, offering a solemn promise. All right, I will help you. A fervent vow echoes from her past self. If there's a chance to live again, I will definitely take revenge for you. Her reborn form, now resolute and adorned in imperial splendor, gazes forward with unwavering determination. Her original self, now with a gentle smile, holds the hand of her future, asking for a sacred oath. You promise me. Looking down at her serene reborn self, the original Xiao Hualong vows, we will definitely take revenge. Her eye snaps open, sharp and resolute, reflecting a cold, determined glint, signaling a profound shift. With wide, observant eyes, Xiao Hualong in her original form holds a glowing blue artifact, peering intently over a railing adorned with delicate flowers. A chilling blade presses against her throat, a stark reminder of the peril she faces as a wound mars her cheek. A masked assailant holds Xiao Hualong captive, a dagger at her throat, accusing her, you bold thief, how dare you steal from the noble consort's tomb. Xiao Hualong pleads desperately, her voice trembling, sir, please show mercy, I'm not a thief. She clutches a small dagger, hidden beneath her flowing sleeve. The masked assailant, male lead 4, masked, simply responds with a chilling, oh, as his long, dark hair flows around him. Xiao Hualong's eye widens, reflecting a mix of fear and a desperate glimmer of resolve. The masked assailant, male lead 4, masked, maintains his grip on Xiao Hualong, the cold blade still pressed against her delicate throat as she gazes up in distress. Male lead 4, masked, piercing blue eyes, visible above his ornate black mask, fixate intently, a silent threat emanating from his masked gaze. Xiao Hualong's intricately styled hair, adorned with delicate ornaments, remains still, a silent testament to her precarious situation. Suddenly, Xiao Hualong turns the tables, her own dagger now glinting as she demands, who are you, really? Why are you in Wan Consort's tomb? Her eyes burn with a newfound resolve. With a swift, powerful motion, male lead 4, masked, retaliates, his long hair whipping as the sound of a slash and a metallic clang echoes through the chamber. Male lead 4, masked's forceful counter sends Xiao Hualong reeling backward, her arm raised instinctively in a desperate attempt to defend herself as distress washes over her face. The sharp edge of a dagger gleams, pressed firmly against male lead 4, masked's arm, the metallic sheen reflecting the tense struggle. Male lead 4, masked, presses Xiao Hualong against him, the dagger now caught between their bodies, her wide eyes locked onto his masked gaze. Still holding Xiao Hualong captive, male lead 4, masked's internal alarm blares, realizing this is bad, as an unseen presence approaches. Xiao Hualong's eyes are wide with shock and fear, her thoughts racing. Why is he coming? As she too senses the impending arrival. Male lead 4, masked, looks tense, his mind quickly identifying the new arrival, Emperor? Without hesitation, male lead 4, masked, pulls Xiao Hualong along, his focus entirely on finding an escape route from the approaching Emperor. Their backs turned, male lead 4, masked, and Xiao Hualong swiftly move towards a glimmer of light, attempting to make their escape from the tomb. Male lead 4, masked, holds Xiao Hualong tightly, his voice a low, urgent whisper, instructing her, don't speak. From outside, a commanding voice echoes, likely the emperor/royal figure, ordering, close the doors and leave at once. Blue ethereal wisps rise from an ancient urn. Male lead 4, masked's eyes narrow, a grim realization dawning on him. He thinks, it's over. Closing the doors will make it easy for him to notice. Xiao Hualong looks distressed, her hands near her mouth as she begins to speak. Young hero, entering the consort's tomb without. Male lead 4, masked, cuts her off, his gaze intense as he states, the same goes for you. With male lead 4, masked's intense gaze fixed upon her, the distressed woman desperately offers her life for a chance at escape, pleading, my life is worthless, but if I can help you escape, would you spare me? A figure with vibrant blue hair lies still amidst a bed of blossoming flowers, seemingly at rest. Suddenly, a sharp swoosh cuts through the silence, and a piercing purple eye snaps open, revealing an abrupt awakening. The emperor/royal figure, now fully awake, his purple eyes blazing with intensity, demands, who's in there? Get out here. A cowering servant immediately drops to the ground, prostrating herself before the powerful figure, begging, Your Majesty, please forgive me. The emperor/royal figure stands, his back to the viewer, overlooking the vast bed of flowers, as mystical mist gently rises from their petals. Turning his stern gaze towards the cowering figure, the emperor/royal figure questions her presence, asking, Who are you? From her position on the floor, the cowering servant reveals her past, stating, This humble woman was once favored by Consort Wan. Prostrating herself even further, holding incense sticks, the cowering servant pleads for forgiveness, explaining, I only wish to offer incense to the consort. Please forgive me. Although Hua Qing treated me cruelly, he values his reputation and would never trouble a commoner. The emperor/royal figure listens intently, his expression unreadable as the cowering servant continues to speak about Hua Qing's character. Tears welling in her eyes, the cowering servant offers a simple yet profound affirmation, replying, Yes. The emperor/royal figure turns and walks away from the incense burner, leaving trails of smoke to dissipate into the bright, ethereal blue sky. As the emperor/royal figure moves, his flowing robes create long, ethereal ribbons of light, drifting past the still cowering servant and the vibrant flower beds. 3 ornate incense sticks burn steadily within a censer, their fragrant smoke curling upwards, a silent tribute in the solemn atmosphere. A dramatic revelation echoes through the scene. Hua Qing, did you ever imagine the consort you poisoned with your own hands has come back to life and is now standing before you? The cowering servant remains on the left, head bowed in submission, while the imposing emperor/royal figure stands tall on the right, surrounded by faint, ethereal wisps. In a serene, sun-drenched memory, Lady Hua gracefully holds a flowering branch, her silver hair shimmering, while Hualong stands behind her, his expression tinged with concern. A close-up on the emperor/royal figure's blazing purple eye reveals a deep-seated vow of vengeance as he declares, I, Wan Hualong, will never forgive any of them. A delicate hand reaches towards a tray of ornate, white hairpins, as several of them fall gracefully through the air, glinting softly. Xiao Hualong, in her original form, reaches a hand towards the falling pins, making a solemn vow, wait for me after I've avenged Xiao Hualong's family. The emperor/royal figure stands, looking down at the kneeling cowering servant, and issues a curt command, withdraw. With tears still in her eyes, the cowering servant looks up at the flower-adorned wall, reminiscing, the consort once told me she loved the tranquil moonlight the most. A final close-up on the cowering servant's delicate face, her light blue eyes reflecting a profound sadness or lingering memory. Yet, from the shadows, a figure emerges, his piercing blue eyes fixed with an unwavering intensity through the intricate mask he wears. His dark, flowing hair cascades around him, the subtle shimmer of his ornate robes hinting at hidden power. The fabric of his attire shifts, a silent ripple in the moonlit night. Suddenly, a delicate figure in flowing white robes drifts into view, her long hair trailing behind her as if suspended in the air. Xiao Hualong's eyes, a striking shade of blue, reflect a mixture of surprise and concern, her delicate features illuminated by the ethereal glow. Her gaze sharpens, and Xiao Hualong utters a single, accusatory thought, that thief. Before she can react, a black-gloved hand swiftly seizes Xiao Hualong's chin, her eyes widening in pure shock at the sudden, forceful grip. The masked figure's voice, cold and demanding, cuts through the silence, questioning Xiao Hualong. Who are you really? Did you truly know Consort Wan? His ornate sleeve and a dangling tassel offer a glimpse into the masked man's mysterious identity. His voice rings out again, an undeniable command. Consort Wan's bracelet, handed over. Male lead 4, masked, towers over Xiao Hualong, his grip firm on her chin as she stares up at him, a silent challenge in her frightened eyes. With a decisive motion, male lead 4, masked, retrieves the intricate blue bracelet from Xiao Hualong's wrist, then dismisses her with a curt, "You may leave." Xiao Hualong's face contorts in a silent gasp, her eyes wide with desperation as the reality of the situation settles in. Her thoughts race, emphasizing the gravity of the loss. This bracelet is very important to me. Male lead 4, masked, warns her, then don't blame me for going back on my word. Internally, Xiao Hualong concedes, finding a new resolve. Fine, the most important thing now is to stay alive. As Xiao Hualong turns and walks away, she calls out a final, defiant farewell to male lead 4, masked. Thank you, young hero, for sparing my life. See you again. Male lead 4, masked, then utters a single, cryptic name or command, Ba Quebec. Male lead 4, masked, issues a direct order to his subordinate. Follow her, find out everything about her. The subordinate immediately responds, yes, acknowledging the task. New voice cries out, filled with concern, Miss, as Tao Hua's distressed face comes into view. Tao Hua, relieved, exclaims, you finally returned. I've waited so long, afraid that if I waited in the wrong place, I wouldn't be able to find you. Xiao Hualong responds with gratitude. Tao Hua, you've done well. If it weren't for your help, I wouldn't have been able to. Tao Hua urges Xiao Hualong, Miss, let's hurry back to Jinling and report to the master, her voice filled with urgency. Xiao Hualong's frustration boils over as she laments, if that father of mine had any conscience, how could he allow my stepmother to humiliate me and abandon me in a rural farm with no concern? Tao Hua, distraught, asks, then, what should we do? Where should we go now? Xiao Hualong considers their grim situation, concluding, right now, we're alone and powerless. Returning home for revenge would be nearly impossible. First, we must find allies. Her hand clenches, a silent testament to her unwavering resolve as she grapples with their next desperate move. A glimmer of hope sparks as Xiao Hualong remembers, my mother arranged a marriage for me when I was young. Tao Hua confirms, yes, it's with the young master of the Chen family in Qingling, Chen Yi. Tao Hua continues, revealing the truth. This jade pendant is the engagement token. Xiao Hualong's eye widens, a mix of surprise and dawning realization. Xiao Hualong's thoughts drift to the unexpected news, to suddenly have a fiancé. Sigh, what as a vision of a gentle young man appears in her mind. A sudden, powerful realization washes over Xiao Hualong, her thoughts solidifying into a clear path forward. With newfound determination, Xiao Hualong declares to Tao Hua, let's go, her eyes burning with resolve. She presses on, stating her intention, and see if he can really help me or not. The scene shifts dramatically to the imposing Shinshin Gate, blanketed in a heavy snowfall, hinting at a change in setting and tone. In the bitter cold, Concubine Shu kneels solemnly in the snow, her elaborate robes fanning out around her, while 2 attendants dutifully remain behind her. A close-up reveals Concubine Shu's face, etched with profound sorrow and despair as tears well in her eyes amidst the falling snow. One of Concubine Shu's attendants looks on, her eyes wide with shock and concern, reflecting the gravity of the situation. The heavy gates creak open with a foreboding sound, revealing a glimpse of the palace interior as snow continues to fall. An elderly eunuch emerges, his voice stern as he addresses the kneeling Concubine Shu. Concubine Shu, are you still kneeling? His Majesty said no matter how long you kneel, he won't meet with you. Concubine Shu desperately pleads, Li Gonggong, please, help me say a few words. I truly didn't mean to cause the noble consort's death. I didn't expect her to listen to my words and commit suicide. Her face a mask of anguish. A horrifying sight unfolds as a dark stain of blood spreads across the snow beneath Concubine Shu's robes, a chilling testament to a sudden, tragic event. One of the attendants stares in utter horror, her eyes wide with shock and disbelief at the unfolding tragedy. Concubine Shu cries out in agonizing despair, my child, as she clutches her stomach, tears streaming down her face, the blood stain beneath her undeniable. An attendant cries out, Your Highness, as Concubine Shu collapses in the snow, her face pale and unconscious. The attendants frantically try to revive Concubine Shu, shouting, "Call the imperial physician. Concubine Shu has fainted. Your Highness, please wake up," as she lies amidst the growing bloodstain. The scene transitions to the opulent Yuquan Palace, shrouded in a warm, golden glow, marking a shift to the emperor's private chambers. The emperor/royal figure, with long, flowing hair, reclines in a steamy bath, lost in thought, seemingly undisturbed by the world outside. The eunuch Li Gonggong appears at the emperor's bath, delivering the grim news with a bowed head, "Your Majesty, Concubine Shu has miscarried." The emperor/royal figure responds with cold indifference, "Humph, the woman sent from the Yang family is so foolish. Send her back to the palace to recuperate, and unless necessary, she shouldn't come out." He issues further commands, "Go inform the officials," as his bare foot steps out of the bath, indicating his detachment. He issues further commands, "Go inform the officials," as his bare foot steps out of the bath, indicating his detachment. The emperor, with an air of profound detachment, declares his unwavering devotion to the memory of his noble consort, stating he has no intention of appointing an empress, thus dismissing any efforts to bring new women into the palace. He gazes down at a kneeling Rowan, his bare chest hinting at his recent bath, and pointedly asks for her name, his tone carrying a hint of cold inquiry. Rowan, looking up with a hint of distress, meekly replies that she is but a humble servant named Rowan, as Lady Hua gently holds her hand in support. The emperor's purple eyes narrow, a complex mix of emotions swirling within them as he processes Rowan's presence. With a swift, dismissive flick, the emperor sends Rowan stumbling back, her surprised gasp echoing in the opulent chamber. Turning away, the emperor coldly declares his detestation for eyes that resemble his late consort's, issuing an immediate command to have Rowan thrown out of the palace. As he walks away, his long hair flowing behind him, the emperor muses internally about the audacity of a palace maid resembling his noble consort appearing by his side. His thoughts continue, revealing his suspicion that someone, impatient after his consort's death, deliberately sent Rowan to gauge his intentions, while elsewhere, a voice remarks on Miss Ching He's liveliness. Rowan stands alone, her expression a mix of sadness and confusion, her light brown hair neatly styled. In the bustling streets, a man excitedly urges his companion to hurry to the Qin mansion, where a grand and extravagant wedding is taking place, eager to collect the wedding money. Xiao Hualong, her face partially obscured by a veil, reacts with a sharp intake of breath, her purple eyes widening in dawning realization as she hears the mention of the Qin mansion. The intricate rooftops of traditional architecture stand silently, hinting at the grand setting of the Qin mansion. A lively street scene unfolds, with various townsfolk discussing the wedding. One asks which young master is marrying, another confirms it's the scholar Qin Yan, while a third worries about being late for the wedding money. Xiao Hualong's thoughts race, lamenting that Qin Yan has broken his promise to Hualong, betraying her by marrying someone else. Her hand clenches into a tight fist, her internal monologue condemning all men as heartless, cruel, and ultimately, hypocrites. A maid, concerned by Xiao Hualong's distress, asks what they should do next, while Xiao Hualong remains veiled and pensive. With a resolute expression, Xiao Hualong declares her intention to go directly to the Qin mansion, her veiled eyes reflecting a newfound determination. Inside the Qin mansion, Master Qin greets guests with warm congratulations, the hall adorned with festive wedding decorations. An elegant older woman, adorned with intricate hairpins and earrings, smiles warmly, participating in the joyous occasion. A joyous cry announces the arrival of the bride, as the wedding procession, bathed in sunlight and vibrant red decor, makes its way through the mansion. Red wedding banners and flowing fabrics decorate the grand hall, setting the scene for the impending ceremony. Just as the ceremony officiator declares the first vow to heaven and earth, Xiao Hualong dramatically bursts in, her voice ringing out to halt the proceedings. Guests react with shock and indignation, questioning who dares to disrupt such a sacred ceremony and accusing Xiao Hualong of being a troublemaker. An older woman, her face contorted in anger, demands to know Xiao Hualong's identity, accusing her of ruining a joyous day. Xiao Hualong, composed under her veil, declares her origin from the Xiao mansion in Jinling, and boldly announces herself as the true fiancée of Chen Yan, the young master of the Qin mansion. Her revelation sends a wave of shock through the assembled guests, who gasp in disbelief at the news of her being young Master Chen's fiancée, questioning why the Qin mansion annulled the engagement to marry someone else. The older woman from before points an accusing finger, furiously exclaiming that Xiao Miss's stepmother had told her Xiao Miss had died from a serious illness, making her appearance impossible. Her voice booms with authority, demanding that someone immediately throw the impostor out of the mansion. Concerned maid looks towards Xiao Hualong, who stands silently under her veil, the tension in the air palpable. The older woman continues her outburst, referencing Madame Chen's declaration that Xiao Miss was dead, leaving her next words hanging ominously in the air. Challenging the claims of her demise, Xiao Hualong's voice cuts through the tension, demanding to know if anyone had ever seen her remains, paid respects in the mourning hall, or lit incense for her. A younger woman, adorned with a fan, recoils in utter shock, her green eyes wide with disbelief as she exclaims, "How can this be?" Xiao Hualong, her gaze firm, reveals the truth behind the engagement gift, stating it was bestowed upon her by the Qin family. The younger woman's green eyes narrow slightly, reflecting a mix of confusion and dawning realization as Xiao Hualong's words sink in. Clutching a delicate lotus pendant, the younger woman recounts Madame Chen's words, recalling how she claimed it was specially carved for her, a testament to her clever and insightful mind. Her expression shifts from recollection to a smug satisfaction, repeating Madame Chen's praise for her clever and insightful mind. Xiao Hualong reveals the pendant's true origin, a rare piece of mush-and purple jade cut in two, forming part of her own mother's dowry. Xiao Hualong stands veiled, holding the jade pendant, its intricate design now carrying the weight of her revelation. The younger woman's profile shows a growing unease, her mouth slightly agape as the implications of Xiao Hualong's words begin to unravel the deception. Xiao Hualong unveils the critical piece of evidence, stating that Long is her maiden name, and the other half of the jade pendant, engraved with the character N, is in her hand. Madame Chen, visibly distraught, covers her mouth in horror, while Hualong's father stands beside her, his face buried in his sleeve, demanding to know how she could explain this damning evidence. Xiao Hualong, unyielding, stands before the gathering, holding the pendant high, and boldly questions the legal repercussions for seizing another person's property. The crowd murmurs, their opinions turning as one noble woman exclaims, "Good heavens, how could they steal someone's engagement token and refuse to return it? How shameless!" Another adds, "Miss Xiao is so pitiful," and a third declares, "Madame Chen is actually this kind of person." Madame Chen, slumped in her seat, is visibly shaken, her face pale with distress as the question hangs in the air, "Is what she said true?" A close-up on Madame Chen's eye reveals her intense panic, the weight of her deceit crushing down upon her. Madame Chen, desperate, attempts to slander Xiao Hualong, wildly claiming that Mrs. Xiao had a festering disease that left her covered in sores and her face pockmarked. Her outburst continues. Madame Chen defiantly asserts, "How could anyone be worthy of my son?" attempting to justify her actions by disparaging Xiao Hualong. Hualong's father, enraged by the deception, admonishes Madame Chen, demanding she return the engagement gifts and marry someone else. He condemns her actions, declaring, "How could you take someone's jade pendant and not return it? That's outrageous." Hualong's father emphasizes the pendant's immense value, calling it a priceless piece of Twilight Mountain purple jade, further highlighting Madame Chen's egregious theft. Madame Chen, utterly shocked and cornered, recoils from the accusations, her face a mask of despair as the younger woman looks on. Madame Chen's voice, now desperate, calls out daughter-in-law, a stark contrast to her previous disdain. With a defeated sigh, Madame Chen extends the jade pendant towards Xiao Hualong, reluctantly stating, "Here's your jade pendant back." Xiao Hualong, veiled and composed, observes Madame Chen's reluctant return of the token, before making her own declaration. Xiao Hualong's defiant question echoes, "Am I, the daughter of the Xiao family, an object that can be discarded at will?" Madame Chen, exasperated, throws her hands up, demanding, "What else do you want?" Madame Chen, her face etched with desperation, attempts a guilt trip, recalling, "During childbirth, your life hung by a thread. It was my pregnant mother who took care of you day and night to ensure your safety." Madame Chen, continuing her desperate plea, reminds Xiao Hualong and Hualong that their lives were saved, a debt that led to the arranged marriage between their families. A stark contrast to her current words, Xiao Hualong reflects on the true intentions Madame Chen herself had previously sought to break off the engagement. Xiao Hualong's internal monologue questions the validity of Madame Chen's favor, weighing whether such a debt truly needs repayment. Madame Chen, her face contorted with feigned anguish, points an accusing finger as she claims the incident left her own mother with a chronic illness. With a dramatic flourish, Madame Chen asserts her claim, declaring that Xiao Hualong owes her mother a life for the supposed sacrifice. The intricate golden patterns on Madame Chen's robe shimmer, a stark contrast to the heavy atmosphere of her emotional manipulation. Madame Chen's hand aggressively grasps Xiao Hualong's arm, a physical manifestation of her escalating demands and control. Xiao Hualong, composed despite the grip, coolly asks Madame Chen how she intends to settle this score. Madame Chen, however, erupts in fury, accusing Xiao Hualong of clinging to the engagement. Madame Chen's face contorts further in a furious scream as she continues to disparage Xiao Hualong, claiming she is sick and attempting to cling to her family. Her enraged voice echoes, completing the accusation that Xiao Hualong is trying to cling to her family. Madame Chen's indignant voice pierces the air, questioning how Xiao Hualong, in her supposed state, could possibly marry her son, as Xiao Hualong remains veiled and silent. Xiao Hualong's veiled face, now revealed to show her serene eyes, holds a quiet defiance, a stark contrast to Madame Chen's earlier tirade. A voice of recognition cuts through the tension, confirming Xiao Hualong's identity. Hualong, his face etched with shock and relief, recognizes Xiao Hualong, exclaiming that she is alive and well, directly confronting Madame Chen. Xiao Hualong, now partially unveiled, delivers a scathing retort, questioning Madame Chen's disappointment at finding her unharmed. Madame Chen, desperate, attempts to shift blame, claiming she was deceived by a stepmother and only cancelled the engagement due to confusion, regretting it now that Xiao Hualong is well. Hualong's father intervenes, acknowledging the Chen family's wrongdoing in the matter, as Xiao Hualong stands resolute. Xiao Hualong, her eyes firm with resolve, declares her demand: the Chen family must issue a public proclamation to the world. Holding a delicate ornament, Xiao Hualong asserts her power, declaring this to be her day and demanding the immediate annulment of the Chen family's marriage proposal. Madame Chen, clutching her chest in panic, vehemently opposes the annulment, fearing the irreparable damage to her son's reputation and his imperial examination prospects. In a desperate attempt to salvage the situation, Madame Chen insists the marriage cannot be called off, offering to make Xiao Hualong her son's honored concubine. Madame Chen, pleading frantically, retracts her previous offer, now proposing Xiao Hualong become her son's second wife, trying to avoid public humiliation. Xiao Hualong, her composure momentarily broken, weeps openly, vehemently rejecting the insulting offers and decrying them as a public humiliation that would make her the laughingstock of everyone. With a swift, decisive motion, Xiao Hualong rebuffs Madame Chen, who recoils in shock, the impact of the rejection evident. As Madame Chen collapses to the floor, disoriented, an observer comments that she has likely lost her mind. Xiao Hualong, now composed, surveys the scene with a calm and unwavering veiled gaze, her resolve intact despite the chaos she has caused. Madame Chen's tear-streaked face shows utter defeat as an order is given to quickly remove her from the scene. As Madame Chen is forcibly removed, Hualong's father urgently calls out to Xiao Hualong. An unseen voice, desperate to protect their family's stained reputation, attempts to buy Xiao Hualong's silence, offering any sum to prevent the truth from being revealed. A sharp, dismissive laugh echoes, signaling that the offer of mere money is met with utter disdain. The elegant man, with a knowing, closed-eyed smile, holds his fan, his amusement clearly visible at the blatant attempt to buy silence. His elaborate robes, adorned with intricate patterns and delicate jade ornaments, sway subtly, reflecting his refined presence and status. Hualong's father turns, demanding to know why the elegant man finds humor in their dire predicament. The elegant man's gaze sharpens as he begins to list the true stakes at play: a human life and a sacred marriage agreement. With a scornful expression, the elegant man ridicules the Chen family's attempt to resolve the matter with mere money, exposing their hypocrisy and questioning their true intentions. Miss Lin asserts that Xiao Hualong seeks justice and truth, not monetary compensation, chastising those who would disrespectfully attempt to silence her with money. Xiao Hualong, still veiled and silent, seems to hesitate, a single word escaping her lips as she contemplates the unfolding situation. Xiao Hualong's eyes, now clearly visible, gleam with a subtle, calculating light as a faint smile plays on her lips. Xiao Hualong reveals her unexpected decision, stating that since Mr. Chen is so willing to offer compensation, she sees no reason to refuse. The elegant man's expression shifts to one of irritation, accusing Xiao Hualong of greed after he had just tried to advocate for her. A sharp retort cuts through the tension, questioning the accusation of greed. Xiao Hualong dismisses the elegant man's misunderstanding, asserting that she will not allow herself to be a mere victim of the Chen family's schemes. The elegant man lets out a frustrated tsk, turning away in exasperation at Xiao Hualong's unexpected turn. He internally laments his decision to interfere, regretting his misplaced efforts. Hualong's father's expression shows his bewilderment, wondering if Xiao Hualong is truly willing to resolve the matter through financial compensation. A triumphant thought bursts forth from the Chen family, believing that all the drama was merely a negotiation for money. Xiao Hualong's lips curl into a subtle smirk as she prepares to deliver a decisive counter. She calmly declares her intention to thoroughly disappoint Mr. Chen, signaling her true intentions are far from simple compensation. Hua Long's father exclaims in disbelief, demanding to know how Xiao Hua Long could retract her implied agreement. Xiao Hua Long, with unwavering resolve, counters the accusation by exposing the Qin family's own history of broken promises and deceit. Hua Long's father, now visibly enraged, points an accusing finger, desperately demanding to know Xiao Hua Long's ultimate desire. Xiao Hua Long declares her unwavering demand, stating that all she seeks is absolute justice. A pair of anxious eyes dart nervously, a bead of sweat tracing a path down a furrowed brow, betraying deep unease. A single tear streaks down the cheek of an elegantly adorned woman, her expression a mix of sorrow and resignation. A clenched fist, hidden within the folds of a red sleeve, betrays a silent fury or unwavering resolve. A figure in rich red robes bows deeply, calling out to Xiao Hua Long with a tone of urgency and distress. Hua Long's ornate golden headpiece gleams as his eyes, partially obscured by his posture, betray a deep concern. The weight of the situation presses heavily on Xiao Hua Long. She acknowledges the highly coveted pendant used in accusations against Hua Long, yet finds herself without means to refute the claims, leaving her in a precarious position. Having entered into marriage, Hua Long declares his unwavering commitment not to be fickle. He asserts that one must act responsibly towards their wife and solemnly announces that the annulment of his previous engagement was entirely the fault of his Qin family. Hua Long urgently calls out to his father, demanding paper and pen. He intends to write a letter of apology to Xiao Hua Long. His father, aghast, protests vehemently, warning Hua Long that such an act would ruin his reputation and jeopardize his entire future. Hua Long reflects on his father's concern, questioning what reputation he would have if he denied his mistake. He declares his mind is made up, pleading with his father not to stop him if he wishes to spare him a lifetime of guilt. In the tranquility of the backyard, the madam fumes with rage, cursing the jinx who ruined her son's wedding banquet. A concerned servant offers her tea to calm her nerves. Another servant rushes in, delivering dire news. The young master, Hua Long, has already written a letter of apology to Miss Xiao. The madam's face contorts in a silent scream of disbelief and fury as the news sinks in. A cup of tea is violently thrown, splashing as the madam rails, questioning how her son could be so foolish. She decries Xiao Hua Long as a jinx who sought to ruin him out of spite. The servant attempts to console the distraught madam, remarking that both the lady and young master are simply too kind-hearted. The servant continues, asserting that the madam should never have tried to reason gently with Xiao Hua Long. Instead, she believes someone should have taught that jinx a harsh lesson to ensure her proper behavior. The madam's eye gleams with a cold, murderous intent, her hand pressed to her forehead in a moment of furious contemplation. Agreeing with the servant, the madam barks orders to quickly find servants and snatch the letter of apology from Xiao Hua Long's hand. The servant promptly replies with a submissive, "Yes, ma'am." Under the red drapes of the wedding hall, Xiao Hua Long, veiled, addresses Hua Long directly. Xiao Hua Long continues to speak, her voice cutting through the air as Hua Long holds the letter of apology, his expression dejected. Xiao Hua Long, holding the letter, firmly declares that even Hua Long's sincere repentance cannot atone for his sin, and she will not forgive him. Xiao Hua Long turns away, her profile resolute as she clutches the letter, signaling her unwavering decision. With a final, scathing remark, Xiao Hua Long tells Hua Long he is unworthy to speak her name. She then commands her attendant, Peach Blossoms, to leave with her. Hua Long stands distraught, his new bride shielding her face with a fan, as Xiao Hua Long departs. As they walk away, Peach Blossoms anxiously asks Xiao Hua Long if they are truly leaving the situation as it is. Xiao Hua Long retorts with a rhetorical "if not." A subtle smirk plays on Xiao Hua Long's lips as she mockingly asks if Peach Blossoms would prefer to stay for a drink at the wedding. Peach Blossoms bursts into tears, lamenting to Xiao Hua Long about the end of the engagement. Xiao Hua Long lets out a quiet sigh, her expression thoughtful as she processes the events. Xiao Hua Long and Peach Blossoms continue their journey, leaving the wedding behind. Peach Blossoms, still tearful, expresses her sorrow for Xiao Hua Long, declaring her young lady to be too good. Xiao Hua Long gently tells her not to cry, teasing that she's making her face ugly. Suddenly, a shout echoes from behind. The woman surnamed Xiao is over there. Grab her, as three servants from the Qin household approach menacingly. One of the male servants recognizes the older woman among them, realizing she was standing next to the madam just moments ago. The servants from the Chen household, armed with sticks, close in with ill intentions. A hand is violently grasped, the situation escalating rapidly. The servants from the Chen household, armed with sticks, close in with ill intentions. A hand is violently grasped, the situation escalating rapidly. As the Chen household servants close in, a desperate voice asks Xiao Hua Long what their next move should be. Xiao Hualong, concealed beneath her veiled hat, glances back with a worried expression, her eyes reflecting the urgency of their predicament. Meanwhile, the Qin household servants rush past, one pointing with a stick and shouting to ignore the maid and chase after a guy surnamed Xiao who went in a different direction. Xiao Hualong's eyes narrow slightly beneath her veil, processing the servant's words and the unexpected turn of events. A grand royal merchant's carriage appears, catching Xiao Hualong's attention. She wonders aloud why such a vehicle would be in this area. A delicate hand reaches out, grasping the ornate handle of the carriage door, indicating a sudden decision to seek refuge. Xiao Hualong quickly slips inside the carriage, declaring her intent to hide for a bit, uncaring of the consequences as long as she escapes her pursuers. Outside, the Qin household servants continue their frantic search, one exclaiming that he clearly saw the woman run this way, while another commands them to search every corner. A dark, ornate chest sits ominously as the narrator reveals the sinister rewards offered by the lady, double for retrieving a letter of apology, and 10 times the reward for publicly humiliating the brat by stripping her outer garment. Rowan, looking distressed, exclaims that Madame Chen's methods are truly insidious and vicious, condemning the cruel nature of the bounty. A black folding fan is presented. Hualong, with a worried expression, explains that next month is his grandmother's birthday, and the fan represents a treasure she has sought for 30 years. Hualong stands tall, holding the fan with determination, declaring that he must find the lost treasure. The carriage driver whips the horse, urging it forward with a commanding drive, accelerating the ornate vehicle through the streets. Inside the speeding carriage, Hualong sits in contemplation, his expression pensive as he clutches the precious fan. Suddenly, a jarring bang echoes through the carriage, startling Hualong, whose eyes widen in surprise at the unexpected impact. Hualong angrily demands to know who dares to hide in his carriage, his voice sharp with irritation as he looks down into the interior. Xiao Hualong, startled, pulls back her veil, her face revealing a mix of surprise and apprehension as she is discovered within the carriage. Their eyes meet in a tense moment, Hualong's gaze sharp and demanding, while Xiao Hualong's are wide with shock and a hint of fear. Hualong stands over Xiao Hualong, his posture commanding, as he orders her to stand up. Xiao Hualong recoils, her internal thought expressing utter disbelief and surprise at Hualong's presence. Why you? The carriage driver looks back, his face etched with surprise at the commotion unfolding behind him. The carriage comes to an abrupt halt, sharp lines of movement around its wheels suggesting the sudden stop. Xiao Hualong's eyes are wide, and her mouth agape as she lets out a surprised wow, reacting to the sudden stop. Xiao Hualong stumbles and falls directly into Hualong's arms, their faces mere inches apart, catching him by surprise. Xiao Hualong's eyes remain wide with shock and a faint blush, partially obscured by a fan as she processes the close encounter. Hualong, his face partially hidden by a fan, glares down at Xiao Hualong, curtly telling her to get off him, calling her a brat. The Qin household servants finally catch up, confronting the carriage driver and demanding they stop, suspecting a thief is inside, and ordering everyone out. The carriage driver, indignant, confronts the Qin household servants, demanding to know if they realize whose esteemed carriage they have dared to halt. An older female servant, her face contorted in fury, declares that even the highest authority would be forced to disembark, threatening to forcibly search the carriage if its occupants refuse to exit. Inside the carriage, Xiao Hualong, distressed, realizes their pursuers are here for her arrest, but male lead one quickly hushes her, demanding silence. Male lead one, his eyes narrowed, ponders internally, questioning his motivation to offer assistance. Why should I help you? Xiao Hualong, with a desperate plea and a finger to her lips, implores male lead one to help her escape from their pursuers. Male lead one's thoughts drift to the true prize, the elusive Guanyin Bodhisattva who bestowed the purple jade. Their hands intertwine, a silent pact formed between them amidst the escalating chaos outside. Male lead one agrees to assist Xiao Hualong, but his tone carries a chilling warning, promising severe consequences if she ever betrays him. Outside, the older female servant's rage intensifies, demanding they step aside and accusing them of protecting thieves, ordering the immediate arrest of everyone involved. Suddenly, a black fan slices through the air with incredible speed, a silent declaration of defiance. The servants reel back in shock and pain, one exclaiming wow, as the unexpected attack sends them stumbling. With practiced ease, male lead one's hand extends, effortlessly catching the returning fan. Male lead one emerges from behind the carriage blinds, his gaze piercing as he calmly holds his fan, radiating an aura of undeniable authority. The male servant stammers, recognizing the formidable young Master Pei, while the older female servant realizes with dawning horror that he is a distinguished guest invited by their own master. Male lead 1's internal monologue reveals his supreme confidence, believing that even the King of Heaven would yield before him. With a subtle command, male lead 1 orders green bamboo strike, indicating an imminent attack. The carriage driver, now revealed as Green Bamboo, acknowledges the order with a resolute yes, gripping his sword. The carriage driver shouts drive as the vehicle surges forward, leaving a fallen servant bleeding on the ground in its wake. Inside the now moving carriage, male lead 1 sits composed, his expression serene despite the recent confrontation. Xiao Hualong kneels respectfully on the carriage floor, her gaze directed towards male lead 1, acknowledging his power. Xiao Hualong, looking out, realizes the Qin residence remains a threat, urging immediate departure. It is revealed that her savior is none other than the notorious playboy from the legendary Pei family, a top imperial merchant house. She expresses profound gratitude to male lead 1 for saving her life. Male lead 1 dismisses Xiao Hualong's politeness, stating that his help comes with a steep price, then directly demands to know the whereabouts of the Guanyin statue bestowed with purple jade. Xiao Hualong informs male lead 1 that, regrettably, the purple jade Guanyin statue he seeks has already been destroyed, rendering his search efforts futile. Male lead 1 expresses his regret for trusting a woman skilled in deception, accusing her of fabricating a story to save her own life. Meanwhile, Xiao Hualong internally recalls that Qingzhu had thrown the statue at the entrance of the Chan residence. Male lead 1 warns Xiao Hualong that it is not too late for him to act once she finishes speaking. The narrator then reveals the history of the Jade Guanyin statue, carved 30 years ago from a rare Western stone, renowned for its reflective surface and impressive height. Male lead 1 internally acknowledges that Xiao Hualong's description of the Guanyin statue perfectly aligns with the accounts he had previously heard. Male lead 1 presses Xiao Hualong, challenging her to explain exactly how the purple jade Guanyin statue was supposedly destroyed. Xiao Hualong's thoughts drift to her past life, recalling how Hu Qing ascended the throne but never made her empress. She remembers the Wan family presenting her with the purple jade Guanyin statue, an offering meant to please the emperor and secure her position. Her memory continues, showing a delicate hand holding a glowing red vase, a poignant artifact from her tragic past. The memory reveals a chilling truth. The delicate bottle, a symbol of past tragedy, was actually filled with deadly poison. The scene shifts to a grand palace chamber, where Xiao Hualong, in her original form, stands before a regal emperor/royal figure, the remnants of something burned lying between them, hinting at destruction. The emperor/royal figure, his expression grave, muses on the formidable influence of Prime Minister Wan, questioning if the poison was a mere warning or a direct attempt on his life. The emperor/royal figure confronts the antagonistic consort, accusing her of divided loyalties, claiming her heart remains with the Wan family. She vehemently denies it, protesting her father's unwavering loyalty. The emperor/royal figure presses the antagonistic consort, asking if she will continue to defend her father even with the undeniable evidence laid before her. The antagonistic consort, visibly distressed and coughing, pleads with the emperor/royal figure. She implores him to remember her father's vital contributions to his ascension and warns against alienating loyal ministers with harsh punishment. Despite her previous pleas, the antagonistic consort maintains a defiant gaze, asserting that she dares not question the emperor's will, though her expression suggests otherwise. The emperor/royal figure, his face hardened, reminds her that she is his imperial consort, yet her father consistently advocates for the Wan family. He then declares his profound disappointment in Hualong. A voice reflects on the intricate power struggle, acknowledging that whether Hu Qing framed the Wan family or they genuinely sought his death, it is merely a tactic employed by emperors and powerful ministers in their endless quest for dominance. The speaker feels like nothing more than a pawn in this grand scheme. Hualong, his eyes narrowed in suspicion, demands to know how the other person possesses such detailed knowledge. The chibi Xiao Hualong dismisses the question of her knowledge, offering a suggestion to young Master Pei Hualong. She proposes he simply find a craftsman to carve a new jade guanyin, since the original was destroyed. Hualong retorts that rubies rare and skilled jade craftsmen are even harder to find. Xiao Hualong leans in, telling young Master Pei Hualong to get closer. She reveals she possesses a method to perfectly imitate the Guanyin statue, utilizing purple jade. With a confident expression, Xiao Hualong instructs Hualong to help her locate a blacksmith shop. Xiao Hualong declares with a resolute gesture that she will prove her capabilities. The scene transitions to the exterior of a traditional building, its rooftops glinting under the sky, suggesting the location of the requested blacksmith shop. Inside the bustling blacksmith shop, the shopkeeper, hammering away, pauses to address his guests, asking if they are all right amidst the sparks and noise. Attendant accompanying Hualong politely informs the shopkeeper that their young master wishes to borrow his shop for a while. The surprised shopkeeper quickly agrees, inviting them in. Inside the blacksmith shop, Hualong, holding a fan, observes Xiao Hualong and the attendant. He expresses his curiosity, stating he wants to see what they are planning. Hualong, a subtle smirk playing on his lips, holds his fan, his eyes gleaming with anticipation as he watches the unfolding events. Xiao Hualong, with her eyes closed in concentration, presents a jade pendant. She asks young master Pei Hualong for his opinion on the exquisite piece, describing its emerald green and purple hues that evoke the image of evening mountains. A delicate hand, presumably Xiao Hualong's, holds up the stunning lotus-shaped pendant, its intricate design and flowing tassel captivating the eye. Hualong, impressed by the craftsmanship, pronounces the pendant excellent. Xiao Hualong, standing before the roaring forge, is enveloped by intense flames while Hualong watches her, intrigued by her actions. The shopkeeper gasps in disbelief, exclaiming that the young lady's precious jade pendant has been ruined in the flames. Xiao Hualong, utterly calm, reveals that the pendant was engraved with the name of a faithless lover, and thus she has no regrets about its destruction. Hualong observes that Xiao Hualong shows no sadness about breaking off her engagement, remarking that she seems completely unconcerned about Chinian. Xiao Hualong's inner thoughts reveal her disdain for Audi Chen, explaining why she feels no sadness. She believes it foolish to lament a broken engagement, knowing she must never let her enemies escape unpunished. Xiao Hualong skillfully tends to the roaring forge with tongs, her focus unwavering, as Hualong continues to observe her actions intently. A searing hot object plunges into a basin of water, creating a dramatic hiss as steam billows upwards. The newly cooled object, gripped by tongs, remains submerged in the bubbling water, tiny particles still swirling around it. Xiao Hualong presents the object to male lead 1, explaining that if a true ruby cannot be found, other jade stones, when fired at intense heat and with precise timing, can also achieve a completely red hue. Male lead 1's eyes widen slightly, a hint of surprise crossing his usually composed features as he processes the information. Xiao Hualong continues, asserting that with a jade craftsman of such caliber, male lead 1 could easily commission another Guanyin statue, crafted from exquisite purple and green jade. A faint, knowing smile plays on male lead 1's lips as he finds the revelation truly interesting. Xiao Hualong declares that she has repaid male lead 1's life-saving grace, asking if she is now free to depart. Male lead 1's hand subtly extends, opening his ornate fan to gently block Xiao Hualong's path. With a charming, yet firm, smile, male lead 1 softly tells Xiao Hualong that she cannot leave. Xiao Hualong looks up, a silent question mark hanging in the air as she tries to decipher male lead 1's intentions. Male lead 1's gaze sharpens as he directly questions Xiao Hualong, wondering how a young lady in her teens could possess such profound knowledge. Xiao Hualong's eyes, filled with a distant memory, reflect a flicker of resolve. Xiao Hualong reveals that her deceased mother and others were the ones who imparted this knowledge to her. The scene shifts, focusing on the flowing hem of Xiao Hualong's dress as the background darkens, hinting at a somber memory. The narration clarifies that Hualong's mother, Bai Jiding, was once the esteemed head of the wealthiest silver shop in Qinghe Prefecture, inheriting immense riches. Yet, despite her prestigious background, Hualong's mother's heart led her to fall deeply in love. The object of her affection was scholar Xiao Ling, a man from a humble, impoverished family. A closer look at scholar Xiao Ling reveals his studious nature, his hands gently holding a book of ancient texts. Scholar Xiao Ling greets Hualong's mother warmly, acknowledging her arrival, while she affectionately offers him some snacks. Hualong's mother, with heartfelt sincerity, tells scholar Xiao Ling that she doesn't want to disappoint him, proposing they get married. With unwavering resolve, Hualong's mother affirms her willingness to marry him. Tears stream down Hualong's mother's face as she desperately pleads with her father to allow her and scholar Xiao Ling to be together. Scholar Xiao Ling calls out to Mr. Bai, his voice filled with urgency and concern. With a firm hand on Hualong's mother's shoulder, scholar Xiao Ling passionately declares his true love for her and vows to provide her with a good life. Hualong's father, enraged, points an accusing finger at scholar Xiao Ling, denouncing him as a penniless scholar with nothing to his name. Master Bai's disapproval led to a desperate act. On a dark and windy night, Hualong's mother and scholar Xiao Ling eloped, fleeing into the unknown. Scholar Xiao Ling gently asks Hualong's mother if she regrets abandoning the wealthy life of the Bai family for him. Hualong's mother smiles sweetly at scholar Xiao Ling, assuring him with unwavering conviction that she has no regrets. A warm, golden light bathes the scene, symbolizing the peaceful life that followed their decision. After their marriage, Hua Long's mother gave birth to Hua Long, and the Bai family's skills were gradually passed on to her. A hand presents a gleaming silver gilt hairpin, pointing out to Hua Long that it was purchased from the Bai family's jewelry store and explicitly stating it was crafted by his maternal grandfather. A young Xiao Hua Long, eyes wide with wonder, exclaims to her mother how truly beautiful something is, likely the gleaming hairpin. A single tear streams down the cheek of Xiao Hua Long's mother, her expression filled with a quiet sorrow. Young Xiao Hua Long looks up at her tearful mother, asking why she's crying. Her mother, embracing her, softly confesses that she misses her own father, Xiao Hua Long's maternal grandfather. Her mother's thoughts drift, revealing her letters have gone unanswered, and her husband forbids her return home, leaving her to worry about her father's well-being. Time passes under a tranquil sky as birds soar above the ornate rooftops of traditional buildings, marking a quiet transition. A few years later, Xiao Hua Long's mother, Bai Jiding, lies gravely ill in bed, clutching her daughter's hand, ultimately succumbing to a serious illness. With tears streaming down her face, Bai Jiding's final thoughts are of her father, lamenting that she wronged him most and is too ashamed to ever face him again. A single tear glistens on Bai Jiding's closed eye, her final, whispered word a tender call to her daddy. The fading image symbolizes the tragic reality. After her mother's passing, Xiao Hua Long never had the chance to return to the Bai family home. An older Xiao Hua Long, adorned with elegant hairpins, looks off into the distance, her expression hinting at deep contemplation or lingering sadness. Xiao Hua Long explains that her mother originated from the Bai family, and the intricate techniques she possesses are secret traditions passed down only within her maternal grandparents' silversmithing business. Xiao Hua Long, holding a delicate fan, contemplates a challenging request to create a replica of the purple jade guanyin so perfect it would be indistinguishable from the original. Xiao Hua Long, with a composed expression, sets her conditions. The project requires a 5-foot-long piece of fine jade provided by young Master Pei, along with a reward of 1,000 taels of silver. Young Master Pei, partially obscured by his fan, declares his willingness to pay any amount of money but issues a grim warning if the task cannot be completed. Young Master Pei's eyes narrow with resolve as he delivers his chilling ultimatum. Failure to create the replica will result in him breaking her hand. Xiao Hua Long smiles confidently, accepting the dangerous proposition and acknowledging young Master Pei's generous, albeit perilous, offer. Xiao Hua Long's internal thoughts reveal her true motivation, a burning desire for revenge against her scumbag father and stepmother, though she knows she first needs to accumulate enough wealth to secure her future. In a bustling marketplace, Xiao Hua Long informs young Master Pei that she has been separated from her maid, Peach Blossom, and must prioritize finding her. Meanwhile, Rowan spots her and questions, Hua Long? Rowan, looking surprised, directly addresses Xiao Hua Long, asking if she is indeed Hua Long. Xiao Hua Long, with a wary expression, looks down, caught off guard by being recognized. Xiao Hua Long, dressed in simpler attire, confronts the woman holding a bucket, demanding to know her identity. Xiao Hua Long's internal thoughts race, questioning the identity of the woman who seems to know her. A gentle hand reaches out, making contact with Xiao Hua Long's arm, signifying a moment of connection or recognition. The woman reveals her identity to a surprised Xiao Hua Long, stating, "Are you really Hua Long? I am your mother's younger sister, Bai Xiaoding." Bai Xiaoding smiles warmly, telling Xiao Hua Long to call her auntie, explaining that her sister once wrote about having a daughter who looks just like her, allowing for instant recognition. A furious voice shouts, "Bai Xiaoding," interrupting the tender reunion with an ominous tone. Two angry older women, wielding sticks, confront Bai Xiaoding, scolding her for slacking off and not finishing the laundry. A stick strikes Bai Xiaoding's back with a harsh hit, causing her to cry out in pain and recoil. The wooden barrel overturns with a loud boom, spilling clothes onto the ground, a direct consequence of the physical assault. One of the older women, her face contorted in anger, furiously shouts about the audacity of dirtying the host's clothes. Xiao Hua Long's hand flashes out, expertly catching the falling purple fabric mid-air, her eyes narrowed in a cold glare. The purple cloth whips back, striking the aggressive older woman squarely in the face, eliciting a sharp cry of ouch. With a powerful shove, Xiao Hua Long pushes the aggressive older woman back, sending her stumbling and crying out once more as a discarded stick clatters to the ground. The aggressive older woman collapses onto the rough ground, the purple cloth now draped haphazardly over her as she groans in pain. Rowan, looking up at Xiao Hua Long with distressed eyes, asks, "Miss, are you all right?" The enraged aggressive older woman rises, jabbing a furious finger at Xiao Hua Long and bellowing, "Who do you think you are? It's none of your business if we're just disciplining our servants." Xiao Hua Long's expression hardens as she retorts, "You are talking nonsense. Rowan, her voice trembling, clarifies her position. I am not a servant. I just work for you to pay off my debts. I did not sell myself to you as a slave. The aggressive older woman snarls back. Is it reasonable to owe money and not repay it? If you don't pay back the money, we'll curse you and beat you if we want. Xiao Hualong, her resolve clear, demands, how much money does she owe you, before firmly declaring, I'll pay it off for her. A sudden realization washes over Xiao Hualong, her eyes widening in dismay as she thinks, oh no, my. With a sudden, charming smile, Xiao Hualong turns to an unseen figure, requesting, my wallet is with Peach Blossom. Young Master Pei, could you perhaps give me an advance on my payment? Elegant man's eyes widen in an almost comically distressed expression, a bead of sweat trickling down his temple at the unexpected request. Xiao Hualong beams, her eyes sparkling with an innocent charm, clearly hoping to sway Elegant man. Elegant man lets out a frustrated tsk, crossing his arms as Xiao Hualong looks on with a hint of bashfulness. Xiao Hualong, undeterred, holds out a beautiful hairpin as collateral, declaring with a bright smile, I'll give this to you as collateral, I won't run away. Elegant man closes his eyes, a silent ellipsis hanging in the air as he weighs Xiao Hualong's proposition. With a sigh of resignation, Elegant man instructs an unseen subordinate, Green Bamboo, pay up. Xiao Hualong smiles, her hands clasped in gratitude, thinking, young Master Pei is truly a good person, righteous. As Xiao Hualong helps Rowan to her feet, she wonders aloud, how could the Bai family, who run Qinghe's premier jewelry store, have fallen into such a state of decline? Then, she gently asks Rowan, Auntie, how did you end up owing money to those people? Tears stream down Rowan's face as she recounts the family's tragic downfall. When your maternal grandfather learned that your sister had eloped with Xiao Ling, he was so enraged that he suffered a stroke and never fully recovered. Later, the Bai family's silver shop was also swindled away. Your maternal grandfather incurred a lot of debt for medical treatment and medicine, so I could only do laundry to pay off his debts. Xiao Hualong realizes the stark parallel, thinking, Hualong's mother is just like me in my past life. Her gaze sharpens with renewed determination. Fortunately, I still have a chance to make up for all of this. Rowan, looking up at the vast sky, asks, Miss, after we find my maid, Peach Blossom, may I go see grandfather? Xiao Hualong offers a gentle smile and simply replies, good. Under the warm glow of the setting sun, the tranquil Bai family courtyard awaits, a place of both past sorrow and future hope. A kind servant gestures from the doorway, urging the visitor to come in quickly, assuring them their grandfather will be delighted to see them. The servant's voice carries a note of concern, revealing that the grandfather's health has deteriorated, leaving him unable to walk. She further explains the grandfather's stubborn refusal to take his medicine, placing the burden of persuasion on the newly arrived visitor. Inside, the frail grandfather sits alone, gazing out the window at the vibrant sunset, a silent picture of his declining health. Xiao Hualong stands at the threshold, her expression clouded with worry as she takes in the scene, the servant and a young child standing quietly behind her. The grandfather's eyes narrow, a flicker of recognition mixed with fury as he calls out, Ji-Ting, how dare you come back? Xiao Hualong's eyes well up, her voice trembling as she addresses him, maternal grandfather. Her hands clench tightly, a silent testament to the pain and turmoil swirling within her. The grandfather's gaze sharpens, a new wave of confusion washing over him as he declares, you are not Ji-Ting. His eyes widen slightly in disbelief as he questions her, what did you call me? With a heavy heart, Xiao Hualong kneels before him, a profound gesture of respect and sorrow. The servant clarifies, introducing the kneeling girl as his granddaughter, Hualong. The grandfather repeats the name, a flicker of recognition struggling to surface. His hand trembles as he reaches out, a whisper of Hualong escaping his lips, as if testing the reality of her presence. Tears well in his eyes as he exclaims, you've grown so much. His joy quickly turns to concern as he asks, where is your mother? Xiao Hualong gently clasps his hands, a silent embrace of comfort and shared sorrow. Tears stream down Xiao Hualong's face as she delivers the heartbreaking truth. She passed away 5 years ago. The grandfather's eyes widen in shock, his face etched with profound grief as the devastating news sinks in. His head drops, the weight of the revelation settling heavily upon him in a moment of stunned silence. Xiao Hualong gently holds his hand, conveying her mother's deep remorse. She regretted failing to live up to your careful upbringing and love. If there is an afterlife, she wished to transform into a magpie under the eaves. She continues, describing her mother's wish to become a magpie under the eaves, bringing good news through all seasons, from spring to winter. A poignant memory flashes, depicting Xiao Hualong's mother, by June, gently leading a young Xiao Hualong through a sunlit courtyard. The grandfather's voice rises in anguish, demanding to know why would my daughter, Bai Jun, want to be a magpie in her next life. Xiao Hualong looks up, her eyes filled with sorrow, softly calling out, "Maternal grandfather." Xiao Hualong insists that her mother truly understood her mistakes, expressing deep regret, but then pauses, hinting at a larger truth. A single tear escapes Xiao Hualong's eye as she reveals the shocking truth. "The year after my mother died, my father married a pregnant stepmother. I suppose the two of them had been having an affair for a while." With a somber gaze, Xiao Hualong delivers the final, chilling revelation to her grandfather. "It wasn't an accident." Xiao Hualong, with a somber gaze, delivers the chilling revelation. "It wasn't an accident." Her grandfather, clutching her hand, laments over his daughter, Ji Ting, agonizing that he has never received a letter from her. Xiao Hualong urges him to rest assured. Her grandfather, now visibly relieved and proud, praises her character, remarking that she truly embodies the spirit of his granddaughter, Bai Jun. Xiao Hualong turns to a woman, her gaze fixed with purpose, ready to delve into a crucial matter. Xiao Hualong, her expression resolute, directly asks the woman, her aunt, to recount in detail how the Bai family's silver shop was swindled out of its money back then. The aunt, with a somber look, begins her explanation, detailing that the misfortune began after Xiao Hualong's maternal grandfather suffered a stroke. She continues, explaining that in their efforts to treat his illness, they neglected the jewelry store's business, leading to a crucial order not being submitted on time. They had intended to settle the matter with compensation, unaware that the order was a cunning trap set by Yingchen Jewelry Store, forcing them to repay tenfold. The woman's voice trembles as she reveals that Yingchen Jewelry Store relentlessly pursues their debts, leaving her powerless. She had no choice but to mortgage the store to them, dedicating herself to caring for her grandfather, then questions Xiao Hualong's sudden interest in these painful events. Xiao Hualong's eyes burn with fierce resolve as she declares her intention to reclaim the Bai family's silver. The aunt stares back in alarm, reminding Xiao Hualong that the Bai family's jewelry store is now firmly in the hands of the formidable Yingchen Jewelry Store. Male lead 1, with a knowing smirk, dismisses Xiao Hualong's ambition as mere boasting, questioning how she intends to reclaim the jewelry store without any money or power. Xiao Hualong, clearly exasperated, asks male lead 1 why he hasn't left yet. He calmly replies that he naturally has to keep an eye on her, adding that if she were to run away with the money, he could still seize her family members. In a more comical display, Xiao Hualong vehemently declares she won't run away and will seek him out after settling her family's affairs. Male lead 1, however, stubbornly refuses to leave, stating he wants to stay for the fun. A servant prepares a simple wooden chair, indicating male lead 1's intention to remain and observe. Male lead 1, with a defiant glare, challenges Xiao Hualong, asserting that he won't simply leave just because she commands it, calling her a little brat. Xiao Hualong, exasperated, accuses him of merely wanting to witness a spectacle. Xiao Hualong, pushing the chair, exclaims that male lead 1 only wants to see a joke. Male lead 1, now tumbling, retorts, asking if he hasn't already seen enough of her jokes. The wooden chair now lies askew, a silent testament to the playful skirmish. Male lead 1 lies on the ground, his expression a mix of surprise and mild irritation. Concerned servant rushes to male lead 1's side, anxiously asking if he is all right. Male lead 1 glares, dismissing the servant and vehemently blaming Xiao Hualong for his fall. He demands she come and help him up, threatening immediate repayment if she refuses. The servant reaches out a hand, calling out to male lead 1. Xiao Hualong, however, simply offers a calm, almost mocking, warning to be careful. A hand extends, attempting to assist male lead 1 from his predicament. In a tender, yet still playful, moment, Xiao Hualong gently touches male lead 1's hand as he lies on the ground. Xiao Hualong's chibi form expresses her profound annoyance, her brow deeply furrowed. Male lead 1, now in a mischievous chibi form with cat ears, grins smugly, clutching a small bag. Xiao Hualong, her chibi form now adorned with cat ears, glares furiously, exclaiming "You!" in utter exasperation. The male servant calls out to Ro Wan, as both look towards a cloud of dust and commotion, disturbed by the ongoing antics. A hand knocks urgently on a wooden door, and a voice from beyond asks if anyone is there. The woman, presumably the aunt, approaches the door, announcing that she is coming. As Chen Ian arrives at the door, Xiao Hualong, peeking from within, cautiously asks who she is looking for. Chen Ian, identifying herself, inquires if this is the Bai family's house, the residence of Miss Xiao's maternal grandfather, and if Miss Xiao is present. A chibi version of Xiao Hualong, looking surprised, demands to know why Chen Ian has appeared here. Chen Ian stares in disbelief, recognizing both Miss Xiao and Mr. Pei, openly wondering how they could possibly be together. Both Xiao Hualong and Mr. Pei, in their chibi forms, angrily retort that their relationship is none of Chen Yian's concern. Under the fading light of dusk, Chen Yian observes Xiao Hualong and another man, while other figures stand watch in the background. Chen Yian presses a hand to her chest, her expression conveying deep concern and internal turmoil. Xiao Hualong's eyes harden as she declares that if the Chen family insists on forcing her, she will fight them to the death. Chen Yian, with a hint of exasperation, states that someone refused to learn their lesson despite repeated warnings, then expresses relief at seeing Xiao Hualong safe, explaining that the troublemaker has been sent to a temple and will no longer cause issues. With a decisive turn, Xiao Hualong walks away, leaving Chen Yian behind under the dramatic evening sky. Xiao Hualong internally wishes for someone to speak their mind, then outwardly states that if there is nothing else to discuss, they should depart. As Chen Yian begins to leave, she pauses, turning back towards the door where an elegant woman is now visible, asking them to wait a moment. An elegant woman with an elaborate coiffure and striking green eyes suddenly peeks from behind a screen, a knowing look on her face. The elegant woman, addressing Xiao Hualong directly, politely asks if she might have a few words with her. Xiao Hualong looks up, her expression one of surprise as she identifies the elegant woman as Miss Wang. Under the soft glow of the moon, Xiao Hualong and Miss Wang stand together, an air of quiet tension between them. Miss Wang urgently calls out to Xiao Hualong, extending a stack of papers as if offering a gift or payment. Miss Wang explains that the stack of papers is compensation from her and her husband, humbly hoping Xiao Hualong won't mind that it isn't a large sum. Xiao Hualong firmly tells Miss Wang that if she intends to use money to silence her, she should abandon the idea and leave. Miss Wang quickly denies any ulterior motives. Miss Wang expresses her sincere hope that Miss Xiao can recover from her ordeal soon. Xiao Hualong confronts Miss Wang, pointing out that she helped Chen Yian stand up for him, and questions if she truly doesn't mind what transpired between Xiao Hualong and him. Miss Wang continues, explaining that she has taken responsibility and written a letter of apology, adding that she wishes to support him through this difficult period. Miss Wang carefully holds the stack of papers, her posture conveying a mix of resolution and concern. Xiao Hualong's gaze is distant, her expression contemplative as she processes Miss Wang's words. Xiao Hualong, with a subtle gesture, announces that she will also present Miss Wang with a congratulatory gift. Xiao Hualong presents a scroll, revealing it to be the letter of apology written by Chen Yian to Miss Wang. Xiao Hualong advises Miss Wang that if her future is prosperous, she should burn the letter, but if things go poorly, it can serve as a potent weapon against the Chen family. Miss Wang, taken aback, questions Xiao Hualong's decision to so readily hand over the apology letter she had finally obtained. Xiao Hualong, holding the scroll, reassures Miss Wang that she holds no grudge against her. Xiao Hualong further explains that the letter is her apology for ruining Miss Wang's wedding, adding that publicly using the letter would cause both the Qin family and herself to lose face. Xiao Hualong expresses her gratitude, holding a small book with a serene expression. The night deepens over the quiet traditional rooftops, where only the faint outline of a cart remains below. From the rooftops, male lead one cynically remarks that people often feign virtue while still demanding payment. Xiao Hualong holds a stack of papers, her expression a mix of contemplation and mild annoyance. Xiao Hualong questions male lead one, asking if eavesdropping has become his new hobby. Male lead one retorts with a rhetorical question, asserting that everyone desires money. Xiao Hualong, with a confident stance, appears to be listening. Xiao Hualong, in her reborn form, states a clear condition: if the letter of apology is returned, the Qin family will avoid any repercussions. Male lead one, perched on a rooftop, declares the letter to be a fabrication. Xiao Hualong reveals that the apology letter given to Miss Wang was a rewritten copy by Tao Hua. She further explains that if Miss Wang is truly virtuous, this letter will guarantee her lifelong peace within the Qin family. Male lead one exclaims that Xiao Hualong is truly the most cunning woman he has ever encountered. Xiao Hualong, with a dismissive wave, replies that young Master Pei is simply too inexperienced. The scene shifts to the serene Bai family courtyard, bathed in the soft glow of a cloudy sky. A female companion, with light brown hair, affectionately calls out peach blossoms to Xiao Hualong, who beams in response. The female companion continues, asking Xiao Hualong for her opinion. A chibi maid enthusiastically declares that their young lady is the most handsome boy on the street. Xiao Hualong, in her playful chibi form with cat ears, dismisses the compliment, playfully remarking that the maid's eyesight must be poor. Xiao Hualong informs Aunt Bai that she spent the day on the street gathering information about the Bai family's silver shop. A voice cautions Xiao Hualong to be careful. She replies, explaining that she is accompanied by male lead 1 and Qingzhu, assuring them of her safety. With a confident smirk, Xiao Hualong internally asserts her mastery of martial arts, daring anyone to cause her trouble. Xiao Hualong's confident declaration is abruptly contradicted as her eyes widen in shock, realizing her assumption was wrong. On a bustling street, Xiao Hualong, in her elegant red robes, and her companion look around with wide-eyed wonder, exclaiming this and this at the sights before them. Xiao Hualong's excitement peaks as she points decisively, declaring this. Xiao Hualong's eyes burn with fierce determination as she declares, I want them all. The chibi version of Xiao Hualong, burdened with numerous packages, is met with an exasperated question from her chibi reborn self, asking how much more do you want to buy? The chibi reborn Xiao Hualong, with a smug grin, reminds her companion that they are meant to be her servant today, ordering them to just follow along obediently. A hand delicately holds a meticulously crafted grasshopper, a simple yet charming piece of craftsmanship from the market. The chibi reborn Xiao Hualong expresses genuine delight, exclaiming wow, and marveling that she never imagined that a local market could have so many fun things to offer. The chibi original Xiao Hualong looks on with a hint of exasperation. The lively street offers new entertainment as a text box announces there's a puppet show, followed by an enthusiastic invitation to go check it out. Xiao Hualong's expression turns serious as she recounts the political intrigue. Just after Consort Wan fell ill, Consort Shu, who had been humiliated by her, endured the situation in silence. Xiao Hualong, with a confident and strategic demeanor, instructs the distressed woman to collect evidence of her abuse of power for personal gain and her harm to the country and its people, and present it to your majesty. With a smug smile, the antagonistic consort declares that Consort Wan ultimately met a violent end, asserting that she deserved such a fate. A harsh sentiment echoes, proclaiming good riddance to Consort Wan's demise, reflecting a widespread, unforgiving judgment. Hualong, holding his fan, expresses his disdain that some dared to fabricate and spread false stories about royal affairs. Rowan, seen from behind, urges them to depart, reminding them of the important tasks that still await. Hualong's eyes widen slightly, a thoughtful or surprised expression crossing his face as he processes the situation. Hualong begins to speak, his expression still thoughtful, as Rowan remains silent, seemingly lost in her own thoughts. Hualong turns to Rowan, probing if she feels any sorrow for Consort Wan, to which she confesses her pity, acknowledging that while the common people saw Consort Wan as utterly wicked, she harbored a different sentiment. Hualong continues, reflecting that only the cunning could ever rise to the position of imperial concubine, and in his view, the accusations against Consort Wan were entirely justified. Rowan, tears welling in her eyes, directly challenges him, asking if he, too, believes Consort Wan deserved her violent end. Hualong, with a cynical tone, muses on the irony of supreme royal power residing in the Prime Minister's vast residence, yet a woman was made to bear all the blame, deeming the entire situation truly laughable. The scene shifts to a bustling street where a carriage, pulled by a horse, slowly makes its way through a crowd of people, with Hualong's father seated inside. Behind a patterned curtain, male lead 4, masked, his red eyes gleaming, reports to his master that the investigation is complete. Rowan begins to disclose details about Xiao Hualong, identifying her as a native of Mingzhou County. Rowan continues to reveal Xiao Hualong's background, stating her father was Xiao Ling, a 4th-rank censor-in-chief, and her mother, Lady Bai, died when Xiao Hualong was 12. Below, male lead 4, masked, his blue eyes piercing, connects the names, muttering Xiao Hualong, Wan Hualong. Voice questions the profound coincidence, wondering if such a thing truly exists in the world. Male lead 4, masked, finds the unfolding situation interesting, then shifts his thoughts to a different subject, remarking that he is not only a petty thief but also a constant liar. Male lead 4, masked, discreetly observes through the blinds, his keen blue eyes scanning the scene outside. Hualong smiles faintly, his gaze fixed on something unseen, while Rowan stands beside him, her head bowed in contemplation, a silent exclamation of surprise or realization above her. Male lead 4, masked, expresses his profound impression, noting that in just a few days, the young master of the Pei family, the foremost royal merchant of the great Zhao dynasty, has become her utterly devoted subject. Hualong observes the situation, concluding that they are simply unbeatable as male lead 2 stands nearby, laden with gifts. Male lead 4, masked, lets out a sharp tsk, a sound of clear disapproval or frustration. Hualong, Rowan, and male lead 2, laden with gifts, stand in the foreground, while male lead 4, masked, remains discreetly in the background near a carriage, observing the bustling street. Male lead 4, masked, lets out a dismissive snort, his eyes narrowed with a hint of disdain. Male lead 2 stands thoughtfully in profile, a pensive expression on his face as he observes the surroundings. A cautious voice warns careful, a sense of unease hanging in the air. Hua Long's eyes widen slightly in concern as he quickly asks what is wrong. Male lead 2 reveals his apprehension, explaining that a murderous aura seemed to emanate from the carriage, then quickly adds that he hopes his perception is merely a misunderstanding. Shifting from male lead 2's unsettling premonition, the scene transitions to a bustling courtyard, fronting an imposing multi-tiered wooden edifice where various individuals move about under a soft golden glow. Approaching the building's entrance, Xiao Hua Long, flanked by her companions, passes a prominent sign for the establishment. Xiao Hua Long's gaze is sharp, her delicate features betraying a focused intensity as she takes in the new environment with her discerning purple eyes. Inside, Xiao Hua Long calmly holds a fan, while one of her companions carries a stack of goods, and the other stays close as they navigate the interior of the building. A grizzled shopkeeper, reclining casually with a pipe in hand, gestures dismissively towards them, inviting them to please feel free to browse. Xiao Hua Long's expression hardens, her purple eyes narrowing slightly, clearly unimpressed by the shopkeeper's lackadaisical greeting and attitude. The displayed wares include a magnificent Huang Jin Deifilong golden dragon statue, alongside a peculiar crispy Napa cabbage and a red bun hairpin on simple pedestals. Xiao Hua Long, her patience wearing thin, directly challenges the shopkeeper, demanding to know, "Shopkeeper, how dare you display this kind of goods to fool people?" The shopkeeper internally protests that this is the only kind of. The shopkeeper, now visibly agitated, retorts with a defiant shout, asking if the shop is open but not doing business and is even turning away customers. He then dismissively adds, "Buy if you want, leave if you don't." Xiao Hua Long asserts her authority, declaring, "I am the current head of the BAI family. Back then, you all took the BAI family's silver and real estate," as she brandishes a document. The shopkeeper's face contorts with a mix of surprise and cunning as he wonders, where did this simpleton come from in the BAI family? With a swift, decisive move, a foot stomps down hard on the wooden chair, eliciting a sharp, pained cry of "Ouch." As the shopkeeper lies stunned on the floor, male lead 1, holding his fan with an air of authority, declares with cold disdain, "I hate rude scoundrels the most." Two men quickly rush to the shopkeeper's side, asking in concern, "Are you all right, shopkeeper?" The shopkeeper, still reeling, then bursts out, "You actually hit me. How dare you? Do you know who I am?" As Xiao Hua Long's foot hovers menacingly, the shopkeeper cowers in fear, while Xiao Hua Long dismissively retorts, "Whoever you are." Xiao Hua Long's eyes burn with fierce determination as she issues an ultimatum, "Pay up or hand over the shop, otherwise, you won't be leaving this room today." The shopkeeper, trembling in fear, desperately pleads, "I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you." The shopkeeper and his two associates lie sprawled on the ground, dazed and groaning, as cries of "Ouch" echo through the room. A crowd of curious onlookers gathers, murmuring questions like, "What happened? Why did you make such a commotion?" and recognizing the fallen man, exclaiming, "Isn't that Manager Li? Why was he beaten up?" From the ground, the indignant shopkeeper points a trembling finger, declaring to the onlookers, "His men are all ruthless thugs. Who dares to hit me?" As the shopkeeper rages from the floor, male lead 1, standing tall beside Xiao Hua Long, calmly retorts, "Okay, I'm waiting," his composure unwavering. Xiao Hua Long addresses the growing crowd with a powerful declaration, "Listen up, everyone. From now on, this jewelry store will." The onlookers react with a mix of surprise and skepticism, one questioning, "Are they crazy?" while another dismisses the speaker, remarking, "This young man is too young. He has plenty of enthusiasm but probably no real ability." Xiao Hua Long turns her gaze towards the establishment sign, which reads, her profile revealing a resolute expression as she contemplates her next move. Xiao Hua Long's expression twists into one of clear disdain as she mutters, "It's such an eyesore," likely referring to the current state of the establishment. With a sudden, decisive whoosh, Xiao Hua Long takes action, her expression still holding that sharp disdain as she moves to rectify the eyesore before her. The impact of her swift intervention sends a ripple across the scene, a clear statement of her intent as debris flies, marking the immediate change. Xiao Hua Long and male lead 1 stand atop the remnants of the damaged structure, surveying the outcome of her drastic measures, a new era dawning over the establishment. Xiao Hua Long declares the area definitely looks much better now, while male lead 1 observes that their opponents now lack the funds for repairs, suggesting they make do with it for now. A determined Xiao Hua Long boldly states her intention for all passers-by to witness her official declaration of war against the Ingchun jewelry store. Xiao Hualong is momentarily startled as two men approach, addressing her as Master and Young Master Bai, indicating her assumed identity or role. Several men kneel before Xiao Hualong, their faces etched with desperation as they collectively plead for her to please save us. One of the kneeling men explains their plight, revealing they are veteran craftsmen who have dedicated decades to working in this very jewelry store. Jewelry craftsman Uncle Zhang, tears streaming down his face, tearfully confesses that under manager Li's rule, they had always harbored hope for the Bai family's return to reclaim the jewelry store. Xiao Hualong gently encourages the distressed men to rise, promising them an end to their suffering upon her return, and asks them to recount the years of hardship. Xiao Hualong stands amidst empty display cases and shelves, a stark visual representation of the store's current desolate state. Uncle Zhang opens an empty chest, lamenting that after the Yingchun jewelry store took over, they plundered all valuable pieces, leaving only fakes, intent on ruining the Bai family's reputation. Close-up reveals Uncle Zhang's sorrowful expression as he concludes that the Bai family's jewelry store has been reduced to just an empty shell. Xiao Hualong's comforting hand rests on Uncle Zhang's shoulder, acknowledging that everything else is gone but offering a silent promise of support. Xiao Hualong reassures Uncle Zhang, praising his superb jewelry-making skills and expressing confidence that as long as the store endures, they can earn the money back slowly. Xiao Hualong ponders deeply, then turns to Uncle Zhang, asking him for insight into where you can make money the fastest by doing business. Uncle Zhang hesitantly suggests that brothels offer the highest price, noting the upcoming annual Moon Festival, where the most beautiful courtesan is chosen, leading to bulk jewelry orders. Xiao Hualong's eyes widen in clear surprise, her face reflecting the unexpected nature of Uncle Zhang's suggestion. Uncle Zhang confirms the pleasure quarters run by Madame Feng as the lucrative venue, prompting Xiao Hualong to declare her immediate intention to go ask at the brothel right now. Male lead 1 looks on with a hint of concern, his fan held thoughtfully, as Xiao Hualong's bold declaration hangs in the air. Male lead 1 voices his apprehension, questioning Xiao Hualong's decision as a young woman to venture into a place like that. Male lead 1 emphasizes his inexperience, stating he has never been to a brothel, highlighting his unfamiliarity with such establishments. Xiao Hualong, with a mischievous glint, suggests male lead 1 accompany her, musing that young Master Pei is clearly a romantic and talented scholar. Xiao Hualong, with a confident smile, asserts that male lead 1 and his companions definitely have more experience than me in such matters. Male lead 1, a slight smirk playing on his lips, agrees to accompany Xiao Hualong, stating that since she asked, he will take you to broaden your horizons. A collective, unspoken thought reverberates. Our young master has really been completely fooled, as the implications of Xiao Hualong's plans sink in. The trio, Xiao Hualong, male lead 1, and another figure, embark across a picturesque bridge, heading towards the grand, illuminated Fenjiula pleasure quarters, their destination now set. The vibrant Fenjiula pleasure quarters beckon, its waters adorned with glowing lotus lanterns as a welcoming sight. Inside, a courtesan, her eyes sparkling, invites the arriving guests, exclaiming over a handsome young man and urging them to come up for a drink. A delicate pink flower is gently held, a symbol of the fleeting beauty and allure that permeates the vibrant atmosphere of the pleasure quarters. Xiao Hualong, in her male disguise, politely declines the invitation, promising to return another time. Beside her, male lead 1 observes, remarking that beauty is greeting young Master Pei. Male lead 1, clearly irritated by the playful teasing, sharply tells Xiao Hualong to stop talking nonsense and insists they leave immediately. Xiao Hualong expresses her astonishment with a simple wow. Another companion, male lead 2, playfully questions her, asking if it's her first time visiting a brothel. Male lead 1 vehemently denies the accusation, declaring no way. He insists his discomfort stems from the sheer number of women and the overwhelming noise of the establishment. From the top of a lavish staircase, an elegant woman observes the new arrivals, noting that these 2 guests don't look like they're here to drink. The elegant noblewoman with peacock fan, her gaze sharp, begins to speak, her words hinting at her authority within the establishment. Amidst the soft glow of lanterns and blooming flowers, Xiao Hualong formally introduces herself to the esteemed Madame Feng, revealing her identity as the new owner of Bai Family Jewelry Store. The noblewoman with peacock fan, Madame Feng, outlines the terms, stating that 3 days later, on the Moon Festival, the jewelry business for the courtesans of Fenghua Tower to use on their outings will begin. Madame Feng, with a dismissive tone, declares her refusal to do business with the Bai family silver shop, asserting that while their jewelry from over a decade ago was indeed exquisitely crafted, nowadays it's all fake. Madame Feng continues, acknowledging their shared background as girls from the brothel, but emphasizes that using counterfeit jewelry is also very embarrassing. Xiao Hualong, maintaining a calm demeanor, reveals her knowledge that Fengyue Tower has always done business with Yingchun's silver shop. Xiao Hualong, with keen observation, critiques Madame Feng's adornments, noting that the turquoise on Madame Feng's head wasn't a deep color, and that the pearls were dull and lifeless, and the gold hairpin was even worse. Madame Feng, visibly offended by the critique, challenges Xiao Hualong, demanding to know what's wrong with my gold hairpin. Xiao Hualong, offering a polite apology, Aunt Feng, I'm sorry to offend you, gently reaches for the hairpin to examine it more closely. Xiao Hualong, with a focused intensity, tests the hairpin's authenticity by placing it in her mouth, a traditional method for discerning true gold. Her skilled hands delicately work the hairpin, a testament to her expertise in evaluating fine jewelry. Xiao Hualong directly questions Madame Feng, asking if Yingchun Jewelry Store probably sold it to you as pure gold, right? She then condemns the shop, declaring that Yingchun Jewelry Store is truly heartless. Xiao Hualong acknowledges the Bai family's silver shop has a bad reputation these days, and therefore proposes their first business deal will not require any money. Xiao Hualong completes her audacious proposal. If Madame Feng is satisfied, she must cut off all business with Yingchun Jewelry Store and only cooperate with our Bai family jewelry store. Madame Feng, wary, counters, pointing out that Xiao Hualong is making me offend Yingchun Jewelry Store, and demands to know what if you can't make jewelry that satisfies me by the time of the Moon Festival? Xiao Hualong, radiating confidence, declares, I am confident. She boldly asserts that the Bai family's silver shop could produce jewelry that would make the courtesans of the Fengyue Pavilion famous. A glint of determination shines in Xiao Hualong's eye, reflecting her unwavering conviction in her abilities. Xiao Hualong ups the ante, stating that if she fails, Madame Feng can do whatever you want with her. She then shrewdly adds, I suppose Fengyue Tower doesn't want to be held back by Yingchun's silver shop, right? It all depends on whether Madame Feng dares to gamble. Madame Feng, impressed by Xiao Hualong's audacity, acknowledges her nerve. She then proposes the stakes. What if you lose the bet? Then I'll have you, this pretty young lady, come to my brothel to serve tea and water. How about that? Xiao Hualong is utterly taken aback, her chibi form reflecting her shock as she exclaims, You figured out I was a woman disguised as a man? Madame Feng, with a knowing smirk, asserts her acumen, stating that if I didn't even have this much insight, then she shouldn't do business in brothels. Xiao Hualong, with a determined expression, seals the deal, agreeing, okay, I promise you. Male lead 1, visibly distressed, vehemently interjects, declaring, No, I can't agree to that. Male lead 1 continues his protest, warning Xiao Hualong that this is a brothel full of all sorts of people. You can't come here. Male lead 1 continues his protest, warning Xiao Hualong that this is a brothel full of all sorts of people. You can't come here. He further questions who would fashion a purple and jade guanyin statue for her if she were detained in such a place. Xiao Hualong looks away, her resolve hardening. She thinks to herself, if she lacks even this much courage, how can she possibly return to Jinling to seek the revenge she desperately craves? Male lead 1, in a chibi-like depiction, appears flustered and exasperated by Xiao Hualong's unwavering determination. The scene shifts, panning across a serene landscape with a traditional bridge gracefully arching over a tranquil body of water, adorned with glowing lanterns. From a low angle, Xiao Hualong, male lead 1, and other companions are seen crossing the ornate bridge, their figures illuminated by the soft glow of the surrounding lanterns. Male lead 1 turns to Xiao Hualong, questioning why she needs him to accompany her. He then playfully adds that he might see a beautiful woman, lose control, and drink without money to pay the bill. From a distance, the group continues to cross the bridge. Meanwhile, male lead 4, masked, gazes intently from a lower vantage point, his masked face partially obscured by his flowing dark hair. Male lead 4, masked, stands with his arms crossed, his dark robe and mask adding to his enigmatic presence, as golden flecks of light shimmer around him. Male lead 4, masked, bows respectfully, announcing his presence with the words, Feng Shengxiang greets his master. Miss Lin, with her striking lavender hair and intense green eyes, looks on, partially obscured by strands of golden beads. Miss Lin questions, why has master suddenly come to Qinghe? Is there any instruction he has given? The emperor/royal figure instructs a subordinate, stating, You are skilled in using poisons. Investigate to find out exactly what kind of poison she died from. The subordinate replies, Yes, I will take care of it right away. The emperor/royal figure then adds, Correct, since Yingchun Jewelry Store doesn't want to do good business in Qinghe. Male lead 4, masked, is shown in a close-up, his blue eyes visible above his ornate black mask, reflecting a moment of quiet contemplation. Male lead 4, masked, confirms with a sense of finality that it was smashed. Hua Long stands before male lead 4, masked, addressing him as master and warning him that the assassins sent by Lu Hui are closing in. Hua Long elaborates, explaining that the assassins sent by Lu Hui to hunt him down are about to reach Qinghe, guided by the traces they deliberately left behind. Male lead 4, masked, holds a bowl, revealing his strategy. The Moon Festival, with its many people and distractions in the city, presents the perfect opportunity to lure them all out and capture them all at once. Male lead 4, masked, reveals a special medicine, explaining, this medicine can temporarily change your eye color, concealing your identity as a Lu Hui person. A reflective surface, possibly water or a polished mirror, shows a dark, shimmering expanse, hinting at the profound changes to come. Male lead 4, masked, drinks the concoction under the crescent moon. As a voice warns, this medicine is also a poison. The master needs to endure the pain. The voice continues its crucial instruction. In addition, one must not let one's mind wander, otherwise the medicine will immediately lose its effect. Male lead 4, masked, covers his face, his expression contorted in pain as the potent medicine begins its agonizing work. Through the agony, male lead 4, masked, manages to utter, as long as I don't, that's fine, his blue eye still visible, fighting to maintain focus. An extreme close-up reveals male lead 4, masked, SI, now a deep, earthy brown, signifying the successful transformation of his identity. Hua Long's father addresses Hua Long, stating, young master Hua Long, the people at Yingchen jewelry store had already taken all the good materials from the store, leaving not even a single copper wire behind. Xiao Hua Long and male lead 1 listen intently as other men discuss the dire situation, the empty jewelry store a major setback. One of the men despairs, without jewelry materials, what can we use to make the jewelry ordered by the brothel? Another adds, even a skilled cook can't cook without rice. With only 3 days to complete the project, there's no time to go to the mine to buy materials. A new thought emerges, as one of the men recalls, my maternal grandfather said that the Bai family's silver shop contained hidden treasures. If the legends are true, then this hidden treasure could be the very thing to lend her a helping hand. Her gaze drifts towards the world outside, a moment of quiet contemplation amidst the lingering thoughts of forgotten riches. Suddenly, Xiao Hua Long's eyes light up, a surge of realization as she exclaims, found it, that's it. A voice cuts through the air, questioning Xiao Hua Long's intentions, asking, what are you trying to do by touching that stone? Male lead 1 dismisses the stone's value, asserting that even a large rock can't be turned into jade or gold. Meanwhile, male lead 2 questions Xiao Hua Long directly, young master Hua Long? Xiao Hua Long, holding the peculiar object, reveals its history with a smile, explaining, this is a rare item. My maternal grandfather brought it back from the western regions 30 years ago. Male lead 1's eye widens slightly, a flicker of surprise crossing his face as he processes Xiao Hua Long's words. As the light catches it, Xiao Hua Long declares, this is not an ordinary stone, hinting at its true nature. Xiao Hua Long's hand rests gently on the object as she identifies it, revealing, this is a 5-colored glass stone. A skilled craftsman meticulously washes the 5-colored glass stone, its vibrant hues shimmering under the flowing water. The precious stone is then subjected to the searing heat of a forge, its form beginning to melt and shift within the roaring flames. Under the intense heat, the stone morphs into an ethereal, butterfly-like form, glowing with an otherworldly brilliance. Finally, the transformation is complete, revealing a breathtaking, 5-colored butterfly ornament, a masterpiece of radiant beauty. The shopkeeper triumphantly holds up the newly forged ornament, excitedly exclaiming to Xiao Hua Long, young master Hua Long, we did it, we did it. The shopkeeper joyfully announces, great news, the Bai family's jewelry store is saved, as Xiao Hua Long, holding the exquisite ornament, praises their efforts, saying, you all did a great job. Xiao Hua Long offers a warm, approving smile, reiterating her appreciation, you all did a great job. A young servant rushes in, her voice filled with urgency as she calls out, master, master. The worried servant asks Xiao Hua Long, aren't you afraid that people from Yingchen jewelry store will come and cause trouble? Xiao Hua Long then inquires, so you want me to keep an eye on them? To which the servant retorts, then what? The servant quickly recounts the dramatic events. Managerly brought a group of thugs towards us, but a few masked men suddenly appeared out of nowhere and beat them all to the ground. Those masked men smashed up the entire storefront of Yingchen jewelry store. Xiao Hua Long's eyes widen slightly, a flicker of surprise and intrigue crossing her features at the unexpected turn of events. Male lead 1 turns to Xiao Hua Long, directly asking, did you do this? But she shakes her head, calmly replying, not me. Xiao Hua Long considers the outcome, concluding, regardless, this is a good thing. Yingchen jewelry store doesn't have time to bother us now. As night falls, the city transforms into a dazzling spectacle with countless lanterns illuminating the canal, reflecting on the water as pleasure boats drift by. Amidst the festive atmosphere, onlookers remark, "Today is the Moon Festival. All the top courtesans from Qinghe have arrived. It's going to be quite a sight." Another exclaims, "Look, the pleasure boat carrying courtesans has arrived." An exquisite courtesan, adorned in opulent garments and intricate headwear, graces the scene, her beauty captivating all who behold her. Delicate golden chains and vibrant beads adorn her neck, each piece a testament to her refined elegance and status. With graceful poise, another elegant woman plays a traditional stringed instrument, her long, flowing hair and ornate accessories adding to her enchanting presence. The delicate white and pink blossoms of tuberose gently sway, their subtle fragrance mingling with the soft strains from a traditional stringed instrument, enhancing the serene ambience. Amidst the festive lights, a man expresses his admiration, declaring the girl in purple silk at Wangyue Tower to be exquisitely beautiful. Another man counters, asserting that Qinglu from Fengyue Tower possesses superior talent. The conversation shifts to rumors surrounding Fengyue Tower's jewelry, sourced from my family silver shop. Whispers spread about the new employer, young Master Bai, who apparently has a volatile temper, having beaten manager Li and even smashed the Ingchun jewelry store, causing significant unrest. Suddenly, a commotion breaks out as a man shouts for people to make way, pushing through the startled crowd. A woman cries out in surprise as the throng surges. The shopkeeper, with a sneer, challenges the quality of a rival's wares, dismissively stating he'd like to see what decent jewelry a rundown store could possibly produce. A graceful hand, adorned with a delicate ring and bracelet, reaches out amidst a flurry of ethereal butterflies, hinting at a magical display. More luminous butterflies flutter across the scene, their wings shimmering with a soft, otherworldly glow. An elegant woman, adorned in a flowing white gown with intricate butterfly accessories, stands poised and enchanting, surrounded by the delicate creatures. The crowd gasps in unison, exclaiming at the breathtaking beauty of the glowing jewelry, a spectacle unlike anything they have ever witnessed. A mysterious figure, cloaked in dark robes with long hair, observes the dazzling performance from a distance, their face obscured by shadow. Hua Long's father, holding a fan, marvels at the unique glass art, questioning how it achieves such a dazzling and spectacular effect compared to others he has seen. Xiao Hualong, with a gentle smile, presents a small, glowing butterfly ornament, its delicate form shimmering with an inner light. A subtle ingenuity was employed, for glass, inherently imperfect, cannot rival gold jewelry and pearls in daylight. But as night falls, the glowing butterfly ornament radiates with an intense, ethereal light, its intricate details becoming vividly clear against the dark backdrop. The very cracks within the glass, far from being flaws, are precisely what make it appear even more colorful and vibrantly illuminated in the darkness. Hua Long's father dismisses the glass jewelry as crude, asserting that it cannot withstand close scrutiny and merely relies on catching butterflies to draw attention. Xiao Hualong's eyes suddenly widen, an exclamation bubble appearing as she senses a disturbance, her calm expression replaced by alert surprise. Hualong's father exclaims that something is terribly wrong, his face etched with concern as Hualong looks equally troubled. Xiao Hualong's eyes are wide with horror as she realizes the gruesome truth, declaring she smells blood. Two masked assassins, swords drawn, leap down from above with a fierce shout, their swift descent disturbing the water below. Male lead 4, masked, stands with his arms crossed, his cat mask obscuring his face, observing the sudden chaos with an air of mysterious calm. An assailant lunges at male lead 4, masked, with a sword, shouting a deadly challenge, as male lead 4, masked, prepares to meet the attack with a swift swish. Hua Long, his face filled with urgency, implores an unseen companion to act quickly, stressing the immediate danger. Xiao Hualong's gaze intensifies, a thought dawning on her as she murmurs that the figure looks familiar. Male lead 4, masked's eyes, sharp and calculating, peer from behind the intricate cat mask, revealing a glimpse of his focused intensity. The crowd descends into utter panic, screams of help and murder echoing through the chaotic scene as people flee in terror. Xiao Hualong's eyes remain wide, reflecting the shock and alarm of the unfolding violence. With a sudden, violent impact, a sword shatters into sharp fragments, indicating a powerful clash. Male lead 4, masked, stands firm as his opponent's blade lies broken on the ground, a testament to his overwhelming strength. Male lead 4, masked, grips his sword, its golden hilt gleaming, his cat mask concealing a calm, formidable presence after the decisive blow. The night air crackles with tension as two masked figures, cloaked in dark robes, rush forward. A stark command, kill, echoes the brutal efficiency of the recent confrontation. Streaks of energy flare from a drawn blade, cutting through the darkness. The masked assailants' movements are swift, their intent lethal, as the battle continues to unfold. A close-up reveals the piercing gaze of male lead 4, masked, his cat mask partially obscuring his face. His voice, calm yet firm, calls out, "Here." Amidst the glowing lanterns of the night market, Hua Long, clad in simple robes, waves frantically from a boat, calling out, "Hello, come over here." With incredible agility, male lead 4, masked, leaps across the chasm, his dark robes billowing behind him, closing the distance to Hua Long on the boat. The intricate details of male lead 4, masked's cat mask and long, flowing hair are highlighted, a mysterious aura surrounding him as he approaches. Male lead 4, masked, leans in, his masked face close to Hua Long's, questioning with an intense gaze, "Aren't you afraid of me?" A moment of connection as male lead 4, masked's hand firmly grasps Hua Long's, a silent agreement to the urgent pull of escape. Still holding hands, male lead 4, masked, and Hua Long move swiftly, their figures silhouetted against the vibrant, lantern-lit backdrop, a sense of hurried escape in the air. As they stand on the bridge, Hua Long's father warns male lead 4, masked, that despite killing an assassin, government troops will still investigate, suggesting it's best to avoid further trouble. Male lead 4, masked's cat mask remains impassive, his gaze steady, revealing nothing of his thoughts as he processes the warning. Male lead 4, masked, turns his head slightly, posing a direct question to Hua Long, "Why did you help me?" Hua Long, looking up at male lead 4, masked, asks if the young hero doesn't recognize him, reminding him of their previous encounter at the Imperial Concubine's mausoleum. Male lead 4, masked, gazes intently at Hua Long, his masked face hinting at recognition as he asks, Do you recognize me?" Hua Long acknowledges the slight difference in pupil colors but confidently states, "But I recognize your eyes." A sharp, intense focus on male lead 4, masked's visible eye, hinting at a deep, unspoken emotion or memory stirring within him. Suddenly, a figure plunges into the water below the bridge as an unseen voice shouts, "Qi Luozhan, don't run." Male lead 4, masked, and Hua Long observe from above. A hand reaches out, desperately trying to grab onto something, highlighting the perilous situation in the water. Male lead 4, masked, holds Hua Long close, his masked face turned towards him, asking with a hint of concern, "Can you swim?" Hua Long's wide, startled eyes look up, his expression a mix of surprise and apprehension at male lead 4, masked's question. Male lead 4, masked's masked gaze is fixed, his expression unreadable, as he awaits Hua Long's response, the gravity of the situation clear. A splash of water, accompanied by a gasp, confirms the sudden descent into the depths. The chilling realization hits, "I can't swim." The words hang heavy, sealing their fate as they plunge into the water. The scene shifts to the dark, shimmering depths of the water, illuminated by scattered light as they fall beneath the surface. Male lead 4, masked, holds Hua Long tightly, both submerged in the murky green water, bubbles rising around them as they sink deeper. Male lead 4, masked's long hair swirls around him in the water, illuminated by shafts of light, creating an ethereal, dangerous beauty. Hua Long's face is serene yet strained underwater, his eyes closed, holding his breath as the current pulls him deeper, a glowing ribbon of light wrapping around his arm. Male lead 4, masked's eyes, visible through his mask, remain open and watchful underwater, his expression unyielding as he navigates the perilous depths. The deep blue depths swirl around, reflecting in male lead 4, masked's unwavering eye, each sparkling particle a silent witness to his submerged resolve. The ethereal glow intensifies, illuminating the mysterious currents that surround him, as if the very water holds ancient, untold secrets. Beneath the shimmering surface, male lead 4, masked, descends, his masked gaze fixed upon Xiao Hua Long as she drifts weightlessly through the luminous abyss. Xiao Hua Long's eyes open wide, reflecting the celestial light of the deep as she awakens within the embrace of the tranquil, sparkling waters. Male lead 4, masked's hand rises, a silent gesture in the aquatic realm, his masked visage remaining an enigma amidst the swirling light. Their eyes meet in the silent depths as male lead 4, masked, cradles Xiao Hua Long's face, a moment of profound connection suspended in the azure glow. A gentle grip on Xiao Hua Long's arm signifies a silent understanding as the sparkling water flows around their joined hands. Under the veil of night, Hua Long stands forlorn on a moonlit bridge, his gaze fixed on male lead 4, masked, who remains a silent, distant figure. Male lead 4, masked's enigmatic profile is revealed, his fox mask a stark contrast to the distant city lights, his thoughts unreadable. Hua Long's dark hair cascades down, catching the faint sparkle of the night as he stands in contemplation, facing away from the masked warrior. Male lead 4, masked, declares the ordeal concluded, his hand resting near his sheathed blade as Hua Long looks up at him with a mix of relief and uncertainty. Hua Long, with a hopeful yet anxious expression, calls out to male lead 4, masked, reminding him that he provided assistance. Hua Long timidly requests the return of an imperial concubine's jade bracelet, only for male lead 4, masked, to sharply question his claim, asking if it truly belongs to him. Chibi Hua Long vehemently protests, asserting that the item does not belong to male lead 4, masked, with frustrated swirls around him. Male lead 4, masked, looks down, a hint of disdain in his eyes as he realizes Hua Long's help was merely a ploy for personal gain. A frustrated Hua Long internally despairs, wondering why male lead 4, masked, is so utterly unreasonable and difficult to converse with. As Hua Long stands dejected, the elegant man calls out a familiar name, Xiao Hua Long, causing a moment of confusion to ripple through the night. The elegant man shushes Hua Long, reminding him to use his young master by alias in public, then scolds him for running around while seemingly injured. Sudden realization dawns upon Hua Long. Male lead 4, masked, had already departed, leaving him alone on the bridge. A chibi Hua Long recounts, with a sheepish grin, how he was caught in a fight, pushed into the water, and managed to swim to his current location. The elegant man, in chibi form, maintains an unimpressed expression, clearly skeptical of Hua Long's rather fantastical explanation. The elegant man, fanning himself thoughtfully, questions Hua Long about the unfamiliar clothes he is now wearing. Hua Long explains that the clothes were generously lent to him by a kind person he met by the roadside, named Kurjin. The elegant man, incredulous, questions what kind person would casually give away a piece of fine brocade, implying Hua Long is either naive or withholding information. Shivering chibi Hua Long dismisses the elegant man's concerns, claiming ignorance of the fabric and declaring he's too cold to care, making to leave. Hua Long ponders, a thoughtful expression on his face, trying to recall the specific name the assassins used for male lead 4, masked. As the elegant man shouts after a fleeing Luo Zhan on the bridge, a chibi Hua Long looks on, utterly bewildered by the unfolding chaos around him. Male lead 4, masked, walks away, his silhouette strong against the city lights as his red-haired subordinate follows closely behind him. A red-haired subordinate cautions male lead 4, masked, to protect himself from the cold, informing him that the Lu Hui assassins have been eliminated by their forces. Male lead 4, masked, coldly observes that the individual in question is intelligent, predicting she will remain silent, knowing he holds the power of life and death over her. His red-haired subordinate confirms this assessment. The narrator reveals that this observation has brought to light something truly intriguing. From a high vantage point, two figures look down as the narrator notes that Xiao Hua Long, hailing from Mingzhou, should possess exceptional swimming abilities. However, the scene shifts to Xiao Hua Long struggling underwater, her expression distressed, as the narrator reveals that despite expectations, she could not swim. A chorus of voices fills the ornate interior of a building, offering enthusiastic congratulations, specifically addressing a Mr. Bai. The exterior of the building is adorned with vibrant red drapes and numerous lanterns, with golden petals gently falling, signifying a grand celebration. Three figures stand with their backs to the viewer, observing the intricate patterns formed by scattered red petals on the pristine white floor. Above the entrance, a gleaming golden plaque proudly displays the characters Luin Jiabai, hinting at the establishment's identity. The narrator clarifies that the grand establishment is none other than the Bai family jewelry store. A joyful crowd celebrates the reopening of the Bai family jewelry store, with an older man in a wheelchair and other prominent figures among them. Miss Lin, with a warm smile, announces that every visitor today will be gifted a delicate silver lotus flower. The crowd showers Mr. Bai with blessings for good fortune and praises his capable grandson, offering heartfelt congratulations on the grand reopening. Hua Long, adorned in vibrant red robes and holding an elegant fan, stands beside a man in a striking blue robe, both observing the bustling festivities. Whispers circulate about Xiao Hua Long, remarking on her composure that belies her youth, suggesting that ending her engagement would allow her to reclaim her rightful property from the villain. Indeed, they conclude, Miss Xiao is truly remarkable. The crowd, eager to explore, decides to follow Xiao Hua Long, anticipating new and intriguing items within her shop. Xiao Hua Long, holding up an exquisite golden hairpin, declares it a fine piece and suggests it would be perfectly suited for her companion. As Xiao Hua Long playfully teases him with the hairpin, young Master Pei, slightly flustered, tells her to stop fooling around. Intricate pieces of jewelry are elegantly arranged on small tables, each draped with delicate, translucent lace, showcasing the shop's luxurious wares. The camera pans across exquisite robes, revealing their intricate floral patterns and luxurious fabric, hinting at the high quality of the shop's offerings. A figure, their face obscured by a wide, veiled hat, stands before a display case, intently examining its contents. Magnificent golden hairpin, adorned with intricate floral designs and delicate dangling ornaments, rests upon a dark, polished surface. A woman with elegantly styled hair, adorned with a similar golden hairpin, holds a delicate fan, her gaze serene and distant, hinting at a past connection. A pearl necklace gracefully drapes around her neck, complementing the intricate design of the fan held close to her face, emphasizing her refined elegance. Her eyes widen in disbelief as Miss Lin recognizes the ornate hairpin, gasping that it must be a relic from her past life. The noblewoman with peacock fan, holding her exquisite fan, urges the other girls to quickly enter the shop while Miss Lin looks on, still appearing surprised by her revelation. With a gentle gaze, Rowan reassures Hua Long, promising that the truth will ultimately be revealed. Rowan, addressed as Phoenix Mom, smiles softly as she asks if the recent assassin incident during the Moon Festival had frightened him. The noblewoman with peacock fan playfully exclaims, then confidently declares that as his mother, she has weathered countless storms and there is nothing to worry about. The noblewoman with peacock fan proudly proclaims that their girls from Fenghua Tower truly captivated everyone at the Moon Festival, then vows to uphold her promise, exclusively conducting business with the Bai family jewelry store from now on. Rowan leans in to whisper that whatever Aunt Feng and her sisters desire today, they shall receive at half price. The noblewoman with peacock fan, charmed, praises young Master Bai for being such a kind person. One of the girls, in a playful chibi form, invites young Master Bai to visit frequently, promising to dance for him. The elegant man clears his throat, expressing his surprise that young Master Pei actually possesses such business acumen. The elegant man proposes that since he owns several jewelry stores in Jinling, he would like young Master Pei to manage them for 3 times the usual amount of silver. Rowan and the girls gratefully thank young Master Pei for his appreciation. The elegant man declares his disinterest in being subordinate to anyone, then TSKS impatiently, demanding to know why the promised Jade Guanyin statue has not yet been delivered. Rowan exclaims in realization, recalling that craftsman Zhang has already completed the purple Jade Guanyin statue. The elegant man urges Rowan to take him to see it. Rowan, in turn, eagerly guides him, subtly asking if young Master Pei would consider a generous reward if he is satisfied. Rowan looks on, murmuring to herself about Hua Long, pondering his fate. Rowan's chibi form smiles reassuringly, telling herself not to worry. Rowan relays that the young lady claimed young Master Pei is simple-minded and easy to bully. The noblewoman in purple then pointedly asks Rowan if she herself is easy to bully. The camera sweeps across an opulent room, revealing the stunning purple Jade Guanyin statue, radiating a soft, ethereal glow. The elegant man and Rowan stand before the magnificent statue, their expressions unreadable. The elegant man remarks that the Bai family's ancestral skills truly live up to their reputation, noting that the statue indeed resembles the legendary Guanyin bestowed with purple and jade by about 6 or 7 points. Rowan smiles, praising craftsman Zhang and his team for their amazing work, remarking on how lifelike the Jade Guanyin statue is. A faint mist begins to swirl through the room as Rowan calls out to young Master Pei. Rowan, with a concerned expression, suggests they discuss the bounties. Rowan blinks in confusion, letting out a surprised huh? The elegant man cries out in alarm, realizing it's sleeping gas, and understands that someone is coming to arrest him. Rowan, distressed, covers her face, lamenting that she will be caught and questioning why she has been dragged into this situation. As 2 veiled figures appear in the doorway, one of them states the proverb, "A cunning rabbit has 3 burrows," before triumphantly declaring that they have finally caught their cousin, who has been in their way. A woman with reddish-brown hair, holding a large circular fan, sternly calls out to Green Bamboo. The woman with reddish-brown hair, holding a golden charm, sternly commands Green Bamboo to tie up cousin Pei and take him back, emphasizing that this is an order. A subordinate in a blue robe bows his head in compliance, responding with a quiet yes. The elegant room is left in a state of disarray, the air still shimmering with residual particles, as the subordinate's head is barely visible, hinting at the aftermath of the arrest. Xiao Hua Long stirs, her consciousness slowly returning as she feels the soft surface beneath her head, wondering if it's a pillow. The intricate patterns of a luxurious red bedspread are now visible, hinting at the opulent surroundings Xiao Hua Long finds herself in. Xiao Hua Long's eyes flutter open, taking in the beautiful white blossoms nearby, a soft exclamation escaping her lips. Sitting upright, Xiao Hua Long surveys the unfamiliar chamber, her mind racing with the question of her current location. Xiao Hua Long glances towards the side, a new thought dawning on her as she wonders if the others are still unconscious. Through a slender opening in the ornate wooden partition, two figures are dimly glimpsed, their forms partially obscured. The woman with reddish hair questions why Qingzhu brought back the man named Bai, to which the figure in white suggests his importance. The woman with reddish hair ponders the intimate interactions she witnessed, a scandalous thought forming in her mind about the man named Bai's preferences. Xiao Hualong's expression tightens with alarm, a bead of sweat tracing her temple as she reacts to the unfolding situation. A hand forcefully splashes water onto Hualong's face, a sharp command to awaken him echoing through the room. Hualong groans, his head throbbing as he awakens, while Xiao Hualong urgently informs him of their kidnapping, pressing him to devise a swift escape. Xiao Hualong analyzes their situation, noting the kidnappers' lavish attire and concluding that their abduction was not motivated by mere wealth. Her gaze sweeps across the opulent room, prompting Xiao Hualong to speculate if they are in the residence of a wealthy individual with peculiar inclinations. An exquisitely crafted incense burner sits upon a dark gilded table, further emphasizing the extravagant nature of their confinement. Xiao Hualong's eyes widen in sudden, dawning horror, a silent question and alarm etched onto her face. A chilling realization washes over Xiao Hualong as she exclaims her fears, then internally questions if she has been sold into a small restaurant. Hualong clutches his head, his expression fraught with distress as he grapples with the dire implications of their predicament. Hualong remains lost in thought, his hand still pressed to his temple, as the gravity of their situation weighs heavily upon him. Hualong questions the nature of their surroundings, only for Xiao Hualong to declare it her bedroom, a statement that leaves him utterly bewildered. Xiao Hualong processes the information, her mind racing as she asks for clarification, then realizes they are indeed sharing Hualong's bed in his bedroom. The richly embroidered bedding and the ornate bed frame are highlighted, emphasizing the intimate proximity of their shared predicament. Hualong's eyes widen in surprise, a silent exclamation marking his reaction to Xiao Hualong's direct question. Xiao Hualong calls out to Qingzhu, who stands in the doorway, greeting the young masters and noting their awakening. Hualong angrily confronts Qingzhu, accusing him of complicity in their capture and imposing a fine of 3 months' worth of silver for his betrayal. Qingzhu, the subordinate, visibly recoils from the punishment, his expression reflecting the distress of receiving the heavy fine. Xiao Hualong, her brow furrowed in thought, demands to know the source of the orders, questioning how Hualong commands such absolute obedience from Qingzhu. With a calm demeanor, Hualong reveals that Qingzhu's loyalty is absolute, obeying only 2 individuals in the world, himself and his grandmother. Xiao Hualong, with a regretful tone, apologizes to Hualong. She explains that his grandmother instructed her to reunite him with the Jade Guanyin, reassuring him that Peach Blossom has already been informed of his location. Hualong, holding his fan, addresses Xiao Hualong, stating that since his grandmother desires to see him, they should depart. He offers to personally escort her to pay their respects. An expansive, picturesque courtyard unfolds below, adorned with tranquil waters, elegant cranes, and vibrant peacocks, as Hualong and Xiao Hualong traverse its grand pathways. Xiao Hualong, with a thoughtful expression, reflects on the legendary wealth of the Pei family, internally marveling that their courtyard surpasses even the opulence of the imperial palace. Hualong and Xiao Hualong ascend the steps towards a magnificent building, its intricate architecture and golden embellishments gleaming under the sunlight as they draw closer to their destination. Ornate golden decorations, shimmering with delicate craftsmanship, hang from the lavish ceiling of the grand hall, their intricate designs adding to the luxurious atmosphere. The 2 protagonists continue through the opulent hall, their figures partially obscured by the shimmering light and grand architectural details that define the stately interior. With utmost reverence, Hualong bows deeply, announcing his presence to his grandmother and formally introducing himself as Hualong from Qinghe, paying his respects to Madame Pei. Madame Pei, the elegant grandmother, is depicted in lavish purple robes, her elaborate silver-white hair adorned with decorative pins, as she calmly holds a string of prayer beads. A close-up reveals Madame Pei's serene yet discerning gaze, her eyes holding a quiet intensity as golden ornaments delicately frame her visage. Xiao Hualong's eyes widen in an intense moment of realization, her surprise evident as she exclaims, "It was her?" Princess Yongkong stands elegantly, seen from behind in her flowing red and gold imperial robes, beneath a majestic pine tree, as the narration recalls a highly respected elder within the Zhao royal family. Madame Pei, seated upon a grand throne-like chair, issues a stern command to Jia Sheng, warning him not to be caught. She then expresses her fear that his heart has wandered too far to return. Hualong flashes a confident smile, holding his ornate fan, and with an enthusiastic tone, urges someone forward with a simple "come on." A resplendent jade guanyin statue, glowing with an ethereal light and resting on a golden lotus base, is presented as an off-panel voice remarks on the immense hardships the grandson endured to find it. Hua Long, with a triumphant smile, announces that they have finally located the purple jade guanyin, a treasure Madame Pei has yearned for. He then introduces the owner of the Qinghe Baijia jewelry store. A close-up highlights Hua Long's hand gracefully holding his ornate fan, while Xiao Hua Long stands subtly in the background, observing the unfolding events. Xiao Hua Long, maintaining a serene expression, reflects internally that being able to present such valuable treasures to Madame Pei is a profound blessing, perhaps due to her fortunate timing. Hua Long's expression turns serious as he reminds his grandmother of a promise she made to him, his words carrying a tone of earnest expectation. As an off-panel voice questions if she intends to force marriage, Madame Pei responds with a gentle smile, suggesting that if he doesn't wish to marry now, they can simply get engaged first. Hua Long's face contorts in shock and distress as he confronts his grandmother, demanding to know how she could possibly go back on her word. Madame Pei, with a resolute gesture and an assertive expression, declares her decision, stating firmly, "All right, that's the decision." Two women in elegant traditional robes stand attentively, and the veiled woman on the right respectfully confirms with a simple yes. From behind Madame Pei, the scene reveals Hua Long and Xiao Hua Long standing before her, the palpable tension of the grand hall settling around them. A close-up on Madame Pei's face reveals her eyes gently closed, a faint, knowing smile playing on her lips, hinting at deeper intentions. Her eyes now open, Madame Pei's expression shifts to a more calculating and shrewd gaze, revealing a sharp intellect beneath her calm exterior. Hua Long, with a hint of apprehension in his eyes, directly asks his grandmother what she wishes to convey to them, awaiting her next words. The grandmother, with a commanding presence on her raised platform, urges them to be bold. Her tone sharpens as she denounces the use of a fake guanyin statue to deceive her grandson. She questions how they could have possibly found the jade guanyin statue, knowing it was destroyed in Consort Wan's palace 7 years prior. Xiao Hua Long's eyes widen in alarm as the grandmother's stern command echoes, ordering the guards to seize the swindler and hand them over to the authorities. Internally, Xiao Hua Long panics, realizing their deception has been fully exposed. The accused individual, seen from behind, bows frantically, desperately pleading and repeatedly denying the accusation, his posture conveying extreme distress. Xiao Hua Long, in her striking red attire, quickly intervenes, confessing to her grandmother that she was the one who instructed the man to fake it, begging her not to arrest him. Meanwhile, the man prostrates himself, pleading for Madame Pei's forgiveness. Xiao Hua Long directly addresses her grandmother, reminding her that the original guanyin statue, adorned with purple and jade pendants, has been lost to the world and no longer exists. The grandmother's hand gestures, her voice firm as she addresses Jia Sheng, accusing her of being resolute in her decision and refusing to submit to the marriage she had arranged. The grandmother's expression softens slightly as she reveals her desperation, stating that she set up this difficult problem only because she had no other choice. Her thoughts return to the guanyin statue, observing that the fake looks exactly like the original, bestowed with purple and jade in the palace. She questions why someone with such skill would bother creating a mere imitation. A keen eye, likely the grandmother's, narrows as she suspects ulterior motives behind Jia Sheng's approach. Her internal thoughts question their exact purpose. In the background, Xiao Hua Long stands, while Lady Hua gently holds the hand of a distressed Ro Wan. The man bows deeply, expressing his great honor at being able to work for young Master Pei. He openly admits his own selfish motives, hoping that his Bai family's silver shop can operate under the powerful protection of the Pei family. Xiao Hua Long listens intently, her expression gentle, as the man continues, stating his ambition to make his establishment the #1 silver shop in Dajia, and to serve young Master Pei wholeheartedly. The grandmother, looking pleased, declares her approval. She then instructs the man to follow Jia Sheng closely and ensure he does not let them down. An extreme close-up reveals Xiao Hua Long's mouth open, a cluster of grapes nearby, suggesting a moment of casual indulgence or perhaps a reaction caught mid-expression. Lounging elegantly with her fan, Xiao Hua Long teases the man, remarking on his smooth talking that brought smiles to her grandmother's face. The man, however, remains cautious, internally noting that Madame Pei is a woman of deep thoughts and a single wrong word could put his life in danger. The man's voice continues, humbly requesting young Master Pei's patronage for the Bai family silver shop, claiming not to be greedy, as 300,000 or 500,000 taels of silver would suffice. Chibi-style Xiao Hua Long, however, scoffs internally, labeling him a money grubber and questioning if that isn't the very definition of greedy. The man, seen from behind, turns to young Master Pei, asking if they aren't worried. Xiao Hualong, with a coy smile and her hand resting on her chin, playfully asks if she truly harbors ulterior motives towards him. Xiao Hualong, holding a bunch of grapes, maintains a confident smirk, suggesting that it's perfectly normal for others, perhaps even courtiers, to have ulterior motives towards her. Two elegant women arrive, the one with reddish-brown hair exclaiming in surprise that her cousin has been here all along. The other woman, with dark hair and a veiled face, stands beside her. Xiao Hualong, visibly surprised, clutches her fan, her internal thoughts questioning why her cousins have suddenly appeared. As Xiao Hualong holds the man's hand, one of her cousins explains that they also came to look at the fish. Xiao Hualong, however, cuts them off, stating firmly that they have other things to do. As they walk across a bridge, the man suddenly remembers something, asking young Master Pei why they went to all the trouble to elope. Xiao Hualong's eyes widen in genuine shock as the man's question about young Master Pei's elopement hangs in the air. Xiao Hualong's expression shifts to annoyance as she recalls how her grandmother favored her two cousins, one being spoiled and the other timid. Her thoughts intensify, her face contorting in disgust as she emphatically declares her dislike for both of them. A chibi version of Xiao Hualong, in her original form, appears, seemingly scolding her other self, asking if she's still complaining about others. The internal voice then sarcastically wonders if he, young Master Pei, perhaps aspires to marry a heavenly maiden from the 9 heavens. The internal critique persists as the chibi Xiao Hualong asks if she doesn't also despise Chen Ian for being weak and useless. Below, the woman with reddish-brown hair comments on her cousin, noting how he always leaves after only a few words with them. The woman with dark hair and the woman with reddish-brown hair exchange thoughtful glances, their expressions hinting at concern or confusion regarding their cousin's actions. The chibi version of the woman with reddish-brown hair expresses her annoyance and confusion, wondering what her cousin could possibly be up to, constantly spending time with this merchant. Still reeling from her cousin's mysterious dealings with the merchant, the noblewoman with peacock fan observes Hualong and male lead 2 walking away, remarking that they appear to be deliberately avoiding her and Xiao Hualong. Xiao Hualong, partially concealing her face, gently reminds her sister that the men are their cousin's guests and advises her against always referring to people as mere merchants. The noblewoman with peacock fan, visibly annoyed, dismisses male lead 2's status, questioning what her cousin could possibly be discussing with him so frequently. Xiao Hualong prompts, and the noblewoman with peacock fan then voices her scandalous suspicion. Could her cousin and male lead 2 truly be having an affair? Her eyes alight with determination, the noblewoman with peacock fan resolves to find a way to test the truth of her burgeoning suspicions. A silent, unsettling question lingers in the noblewoman with peacock fan's mind. Could this truly be a case of homosexuality? Xiao Hualong urgently warns her elder sister, imploring her not to repeat any foolish actions that would infuriate their cousin. With a cunning smile, the noblewoman with peacock fan declares that if she cannot directly harm her cousin, she will at least target male lead 2. She then imperiously demands a pretty maid be brought to her at once. As night falls, the scene shifts to the Pei family guest room, where a clandestine plan is set to unfold. Inside the guest room, male lead 2 sits peacefully, reading a book, as subtle wisps of an unknown smoke begin to permeate the air around him. Male lead 2's expression shifts to surprise as he recognizes the distinctive fragrance, finding it unsettlingly familiar. The potent fragrance takes hold, causing male lead 2's eyes to close as he slowly succumbs to its intoxicating influence. Completely overwhelmed, male lead 2 collapses onto the table, his body rendered immobile by the powerful effects of the mysterious aroma. Outside the guest room, the noblewoman with peacock fan cries out to her cousin in alarm, a look of utter panic distorting her features. The noblewoman with peacock fan urgently calls out to Hualong, demanding he come with her quickly, revealing that male lead 2, whom he brought back, is now in grave trouble. Hualong's expression shifts to one of deep concern, his eyes wide with a mix of surprise and worry at the sudden news. Male lead 2 lies unconscious, tears welling in his eyes from the potent drug, while Xiao Hualong observes calmly, a thoughtful echoing her hidden intentions. Delicate hands meticulously tie a sash, preparing for the next stage of the unfolding deception. Male lead 2 awakens in a state of shock and panic, demanding to know the identity of the intruder and their intentions. Xiao Hualong, with a sweet and alluring smile, introduces herself to a sweating male lead 2, claiming she is there to serve him. Chibi male lead 2 frantically pushes Xiao Hualong away, desperately pleading for her not to come any closer. Xiao Hualong feigns tears, asking male lead 2 if he dislikes her, while male lead 2's mind races, realizing he is being framed for an affair. The noblewoman with peacock fan and Hualong rush towards the guest room, the former calling out to her cousin in urgency. The noblewoman with peacock fan informs Hua Long that male lead 2 was inside the room, prompting him to demand an explanation for what exactly transpired. The noblewoman with peacock fan, aghast, reports that someone discovered male lead 2 having an affair with a maid within the guest room. A chibi Hua Long reacts with utter disbelief, letting out a stunned ha at the shocking revelation. Still reeling from the news, Hua Long's chibi form asks for clarification, wondering what exactly the maid did. Standing resolutely in the doorway, the noblewoman with peacock fan vehemently denounces male lead 2 as a hypocrite, inviting Hua Long to come inside and witness the truth for himself. The noblewoman with peacock fan observes a scene unfolding behind a translucent curtain, expressing her shock at the inappropriateness of the situation. From within, male lead 2 reassures the other figure, telling them not to be afraid and to remain still. Hua Long, with an outraged expression, vehemently declares her disbelief that such a shameless and despicable act is happening in broad daylight. Inside the room, male lead 2 carefully applies makeup to Hua Long, who questions if this is truly how young Master Bai should appear. She then demands an explanation for his presence. Hua Long, with a comically exasperated chibi expression, demands to know what male lead 2 is doing in the room. Male lead 2, maintaining a calm smile, explains to Hua Long that he is the owner of the Bai family silver shop. He continues, clarifying that Hua Long had approached him for advice on the latest jewelry and makeup trends in Qinghe. Hua Long vehemently refutes his claims, accusing male lead 2 of pursuing her beauty and attempting to seduce her into an affair right then and there. Male lead 2, looking earnest, attempts to clarify, stating that Hua Long has misunderstood the situation and denying he is the kind of person to engage in such acts. Suddenly, a hand grasps a ceramic pitcher, a clear sign of impending action. Without hesitation, the contents of the pitcher are dramatically splashed over male lead 2's head, eliciting a sharp cry of surprise from him. Drenched and visibly upset, male lead 2 is interrogated by Hua Long, who demands to know who sent him to seduce her. Hua Long, momentarily adopting a different persona, recites words of admiration for young Master Bai's handsome appearance and extraordinary presence, feigning a desire to meet him. Male lead 2, looking increasingly desperate, warns that the crime of adultery within the inner quarters carries a death sentence. He then offers Hua Long a way out, promising to save her if she obeys him. With a dramatically tearful, chibi expression, Hua Long declares her feigned obedience to male lead 2. Male lead 2, with a humble demeanor, explains that he is merely a merchant and with the brilliant young Master Pai present, no one would possibly notice him. Hua Long, playing along, insists that she would never dare to attract such attention. Hua Long, holding a fan, addresses the figure standing before him, urging them to stop lingering and join him for work. Under the night sky, a voice remarks on someone's capabilities, then questions if a brief absence led them into romantic entanglements. By the tranquil pond, male lead 2 confronts Hua Long, demanding to know why he's suffering while Hua Long finds amusement. Hua Long then reveals that Hua Long's silly thing was an expression of her affection. Hua Long contemplates the situation, questioning if Hua Long would truly be interested in a disgraced playboy, suggesting her scheming was merely a calculated move to secure a position within the Pai family. Male lead 2 calmly observes that Hua Long doesn't engage in typical playboy activities like cockfighting, dog racing, or frequenting brothels, concluding that the playboy label doesn't truly suit him. Hua Long, with a hint of melancholy, reflects on how quickly people believe they know him intimately after only a few days in his presence. He dismisses the superficiality of such judgments, finding it utterly ridiculous. Hua Long, still by the pond, expresses confusion over why people would suddenly become angry and leave without cause. Male lead 2 reacts with a puzzled exclamation. Male lead 2, his confusion evident, asks Hua Long for an explanation. The tranquil night scene settles over the traditional architecture, illuminated by soft lights from within. Lady Hua warns an unseen princess about the deeply cunning and scheming nature of Hua Long, asserting that Hua Long is no match for her. She further describes Hua Long as a truly manipulative woman. Miss Lin, with an assertive stance, states her belief that as long as her grandson remains by her side, his presence is beneficial, making the situation acceptable. Lady Hua continues her grave warning, revealing that young Master Pai showed no affection for the Du family's young ladies, but was wary of Hua Long, whose ambitions far exceeded merely being a staff member. She questions if young Master Pai falling for Hua Long wouldn't make her humble merchant background seem insignificant. Lady Hua, however, reflects on the true nature of Jia Shang who, despite appearing cynical and unrestrained, is in reality distant and aloof. She muses that if Jia Shang truly loves someone, then that person is the one who deserves him most, asserting that regardless of background or family, nothing is more important than her grandson's love. Her green eyes hold a deep, pensive gaze, hinting at the complex thoughts swirling within her mind regarding the future of her family and its intricate connections. Yet, a lingering unease prompts Lady Hua to decide that Xiao Hualong's background must be investigated further. She confesses a restless feeling, sensing something strikingly familiar in Xiao Hualong's eyes and brows. A gentle image of Xiao Hualong, in simpler attire, flashes in Lady Hua's mind, her soft purple eyes and delicate features evoking the very familiarity that troubles Lady Hua. Meanwhile, Xiao Hualong, in her male disguise, resolves to return to Qinghe. Before departing, she considers a crucial task, uncovering the origin of a mysterious piece of jewelry. She ponders the difficulty of her task, acknowledging her status as an outsider prevents her from accessing the inner courtyard where the information, or the jewelry itself, might be found. Suddenly, a chibi version of Xiao Hualong appears, a spark of realization igniting her expression as a plan solidifies in her mind. Her strategy takes shape. She will first approach Du Wangge, then seek an opportunity to extract vital information from Du Wange's personal maid. The lush green foliage shimmers under the starlight, concealing Xiao Hualong as she prepares to execute her carefully laid plans within the estate. The serene inner courtyard of the estate is illuminated by a single hanging lantern, as several maids move about, carrying trays in the quiet of the night. Now in a maid's simple attire, Xiao Hualong looks directly at the viewer, her thoughts echoing her confidence. Dressed like this, you probably won't recognize me, right? The Grand Du family estate looms under the night sky, its intricate architecture reflected in the tranquil pond. A young boy calls out to an elder sister as he walks through the illuminated path. Inside, Xiao Hualong, still in disguise, urges Du Wangge, "Sister, don't make your cousin angry anymore." Du Wangge, however, dismisses her concern, asking defiantly, "What are you afraid of?" Xiao Hualong, her face partially veiled, shushes Du Wangge urgently, her finger pressed to her lips, whispering, "Sister, keep your voice down." Du Wangge, with a smug expression, challenges Xiao Hualong, "Did I say something wrong?" She then reveals a shocking truth. "Besides me, which noble lady from a wealthy family would be willing to marry such a heartless profligate son who committed matricide?" Xiao Hualong tries to calm her, reassuringly stating, "Sister, this is just a rumor. It may not be true." Du Wangge remains unconvinced, her eyes narrowed in skepticism as she retorts, "If she's not dead, why doesn't she appear in public?" Xiao Hualong, visibly distressed, insists, "Sister, please say less." She warns of the potential wrath of her cousin. "What if my cousin hears this and gets angry?" Du Wangge finally relents, saying, okay, I'm not saying anything more." She then calls out to a maid, "Hey maid over there, come here and help me fix my hair and makeup. I don't want to run into my cousin later and be impolite." Xiao Hualong, disguised as the maid, reacts with a subtle hint of anxiety, a bead of sweat forming as her attention is drawn to a distinctive golden necklace around her neck. Du Wangge proudly displays her elaborate golden hairpins, boasting, "It's priceless. I finally got it after a lot of effort." Xiao Hualong, while working on Du Wange's hair, recalls a crucial detail. "I heard that after Consort 1 passed away, the Prime Minister's residence gave away all of her belongings. It seems they want to distance themselves from this imperial concubine." Du Wangge, with a satisfied smile, confirms the rumors. Consort 1 was notorious for her numerous evil deeds. Even her relatives avoided her after her death. Suddenly, a sharp pain causes Du Wangge to wince, letting out a pained hiss as the maid's hand accidentally tugs at her hair. Du Wangge cries out in genuine distress, "It hurts." The maid, Xiao Hualong, immediately bows deeply in apology, pleading, "This servant deserves to die. Please forgive me, Mississippi." Du Wangge, her face contorted in a furious scowl, points accusingly, screaming, "How dare you tear my hair like that? Guards, cut her hair for me." Xiao Hualong, desperate to escape Du Wange's wrath, turns and flees, her only thought to outrun the guards. Du Wange's furious voice echoes, demanding her guards bring back the fleeing Xiao Hualong, asserting they must not let her escape. Xiao Hualong hides behind a large, gnarled rock, her heart pounding as she glances back at the distant palace, hoping to evade her pursuers. Clutching a golden hairpin, Xiao Hualong curses her own carelessness, realizing that if discovered with it, she could be mistaken for a thief, leading to far greater trouble. A wave of overwhelming dread washes over Xiao Hualong as she recalls the suffocating terror of the moment, a feeling so intense it stole her breath. As Xiao Hualong contemplates the hairpin, an unseen voice cuts through the night, asking if anyone has spotted a maid with a pockmarked face. The urgency of the situation intensifies as Xiao Hualong realizes that capture would mean the exposure of her true identity, forcing her to flee with renewed desperation. Xiao Hualong dashes across the expansive courtyard, her figure a blur against the grand architecture of the palace grounds. Reaching a grand entrance, Xiao Hualong spots a sign above, revealing it to be the ancestral temple of the Pei clan, a possible sanctuary from her pursuers. One of the maids, pointing towards the grand structure, tells her companions that she believes she saw the fleeing maid head in the direction of the ancestral hall. Convinced that their target is concealed within, one maid urges the others to quickly enter the ancestral hall and begin their search. Another maid, visibly distressed, protests vehemently, warning against the casual intrusion into the sacred ancestral hall. The determined maid, ignoring the warnings, declares that they must find the damned girl no matter what, pushing past the hesitant maid. Hualong, radiating authority, questions the unauthorized trespassing into the ancestral hall. He then commands Qingzhu to send the two unruly maids to his grandmother for disciplinary action. The two maids, pleading for forgiveness, reveal they were merely following the explicit orders of their young lady. Hualong's gaze sharpens as he questions the maid's assertion, feigning ignorance that their young lady has suddenly taken charge of the Pei family. From outside, the maids continue to plead with Hualong, begging for his forgiveness for their actions, even at such a late hour. Xiao Hualong remains hidden, unseen. The tense night scene gives way to a serene vision of cherry blossoms drifting gently under a clear sky, a stark contrast to the unfolding drama. A pair of exquisite golden hairpins are presented as a gift to Hualong, his father's voice filled with paternal affection, wishing his son a smooth and carefree life on his coming-of-age ceremony. The elegant antagonistic consort, adorned in regal attire, graciously accepts the gift, expressing her gratitude to the giver and affirming her love for the present. Back in the present, Hualong pulls back a heavy curtain, his golden eyes sharp and discerning as he surveys his surroundings. Hualong's voice cuts through the silence, demanding to know why someone, dressed as a maid, is hiding within the ancestral hall. Discovered and cornered, Xiao Hualong's face crumples in despair, tears streaming down her cheeks as she remains hidden beneath a cloth. Still consumed by her recent despair, Xiao Hualong's mind wanders. She recalls the poignant question, "What happened? Why are you crying?" and reflects on the profound sorrow of tears, noting how truly awful they looked. In this vivid memory, Xiao Hualong offers immense wealth and precious items, stating that if the person desires it, she will ask her grandmother to provide even more valuable jewelry and gold. As Xiao Hualong reaches out, a dark-haired woman recoils, her voice filled with distress as she vehemently declares she wants nothing, she doesn't want it anymore. Xiao Hualong, her own eyes now glistening with tears, insists on providing whatever is desired, emphasizing her boundless resources by stating that what she has most of is money. Amidst a sacred shrine, Xiao Hualong extends a comforting glow, assuring the distressed person that she doesn't know what happened, but if they want to cry, they can, as she is right there and no one will bother them. A quiet thanks emerges from the dark-haired woman, a small acceptance of the solace offered. The scene shifts abruptly, revealing the emperor/royal figure, a regal man with long purple-gray hair and piercing purple eyes, calmly perusing a book. An attendant, seen from behind, delivers news to the emperor/royal figure, announcing that Princess Yongkeng has sent treasures to the palace. The emperor/royal figure, his expression thoughtful and suspicious, questions the sudden gift, stating he has never gotten along with Princess Yongkeng. The camera pans across an opulent, ornate screen adorned with intricate patterns of birds and flowers, hinting at the grandeur and potential intrigue within the palace. Hualong's father, an older man with a mustache and green robe, stands in the foreground, looking utterly distressed and gesturing wildly, stammering to the emperor/royal figure, "Your Majesty, this." A dramatic close-up on the emperor/royal figure's wide, purple eyes reveals a profound look of shock and realization, as if the full implication of the treasures has just struck him.